He wrote a hit song for Snoop Dogg, and now he does metal reactions on his YouTube channel, which is blowing up right now. But here's the thing, he's got zero ego about working with Snoop Dogg, and he has genuine excitement for when a metal song floors him, and I think that's rare. That's also why I've been subscribed to his channel for the last 6 months. So I sat down and chatted with him for over 2 hours. If you watch metal reactions and you don't know him yet, it's my pleasure to introduce you to Lucky Reacts. I found you because of your Tool reaction to The Pot that you posted, I think, about 6 months ago. At the time I watched that reaction, you had, I think, 1,000 subscribers, roughly, if I'm getting that correct. So today is July 15, and you just crossed 20,000. I think that was yesterday.
Yeah.
This might be a tough question to start out, but I wanted to ask you, why do you think that is? Like, what do you think is contributing to you having such great success so quickly?
So well, a couple of things.
It's a hard question to start with.
It is a hard question. So because I do reaction videos, and everybody does reaction videos, right? So it can't just be that, right? But I think what happens is that where I think where I went a little different is, yes, I do reaction videos, but also when I started to do reaction videos, I also was dealing with myself. I'm a musician first.
Yeah, right.
I'm a songwriter.
I'll talk
first.
about that too. Yeah.
So with me doing reaction videos, I find myself reacting to a genre that I never truly tapped in for myself. And as a musician and a songwriter, I asked myself, well, why not? Why didn't you ever really dive into metal and even see what it was about? And I said, well, the first video I did got kind of like some good feedback. So I kind of killed two birds with one stone. It's kind of like, well, that did really great. Let me see what happens if I do another one. And also, let me dive into metal and see about this genre. Let me see if I like, or maybe I have some misconceptions, or let me see what it's about. So diving into that, doing reaction videos, I had other questions, and I couldn't do those. I couldn't have these questions also during the reaction videos. So I started making separate videos, talking head videos, where I would ask all the questions. Right.
Right.
So
Right.
one of the earliest videos I remember doing was, so for those who don't know, I'm a Christian by faith, and so the problem I was having with going and diving into metal was the misconceptions about metal, right? So I'm coming into metal like, okay, if I'm going to dive into this genre, what is the Satanism connection, if there is one? Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe it's a misconception thing I have, but I'm seeing a lot of dark images also tied to metal, and I need to know if it's a thing or not, because I need to know where I'm going. And once I made that video, that really came. I think that really told the people like, instead of just doing what everybody else did to us, right? Said we're devil worshippers, we're evil, we're all these things. He actually wants to know and actually want to come to the source, which is us, the people, and find out, is it real or not? What's this connection? What's this thing? So I think they identified more so with, he's someone with a true interest who wants to know about this thing we love. So let's teach him. So I kind of like I was a student asking all these teachers, help me out, because I want to know, And I think that was one difference than a guy just doing all the famous, legendary metal and rock songs and just say, hey, I like that, or I like that video, or I like that song, and saying he liked every song, right? That would have just made my page just another regular page. But I think that was the difference, where I dove in more so wanting to take the journey live in front of you, instead of just saying I like every song I'm reacting to,
And then what should I react to next, and just doing it for the views, basically.
Exactly. And I think we've seen enough reaction videos, because I've been watching myself since I've been into it, where you can kind of tell who's like, okay, this doesn't really ring off as genuine. Or, I mean, if you do like reaction videos, after you've been watching so many, what's the difference between this person and this person, right? So you may not even be looking for it anymore. But when you come across my videos and I'm doing these talking head videos, asking questions about maybe the history, or what's some documentaries I can watch, what's up with the Satanism thing, oh, what's the difference between metal and rock, and what came first? And so now people are engaged and teaching me in the comments, and I'm reading comments, I'm answering back, I'm responding. So there's an immersive thing we have going on back and forth, and it's a relationship that's being built where we're helping each other. I'm doing my part as far as like, being entertaining and putting information out there, reacting, but I'm also being taught and taking their suggestions about what songs I should do next. And I'm actually doing those songs, and so it just responded really, really well.
You mentioned one of the reasons I like your channel is because of two things you mentioned. One is you just seem like you're a decent person. First off, that's what, and
Thank you.
you're not an actor. Like
Thank you.
I haven't watched any of your video and thought like, maybe he's just whatever. Like you
Right,
mentioned, it does seem
right.
honest. Um, and you, I really want to talk about your talking head videos too, and maybe this is a good segue because what I appreciate so much about your channel is you look at it today and your two most viewed videos are not reactions.
Right.
They're you just talking about feelings is what I get, like
Yeah.
emotions, right? Those to me, that it seems like the core of those two videos. Me as a viewer of your channel, I feel the things that you just mentioned. Like I feel like I know you better because of it, and I just love that. I love that making yourself different by just saying what's on your mind. And
Yeah.
so can you
I
yeah, tell me about those two videos you made and maybe
For sure.
why you did
First,
those.
I want to say I do appreciate that. I do appreciate that. I'm big on connecting with humans, and I feel like so many of, not to sound corny or cliche, but I feel like so many of our world's problems could be handled if we just dealt with one another on a human level, right? So, I think when if we just open up and allow ourselves to let our feelings out about what we're dealing with, the things that's on our minds, you'll find so many more people that connect with you than people that are different, right? I talk about this. I drive Uber also. I'm an Uber driver. So I'll say one thing that Uber has afforded me is once you put two people in a car and kind of like force them to deal with one another, like
Yeah.
it's a closed thing and you have
There's
to
no
talk.
escape. Yeah, yeah.
It's no escape. You find out that you're more alike than you are different. I've ended trips where it's been amazing having these conversations with people who are, the rich, the wealthy, the different social backgrounds, different upbringings, and all these different people, different class in life and stuff like that. And you're like, wait a minute, we're way more alike than we're all different. But the world would have you think differently. So when I do these reaction videos, I'm more so dealing with the feelings I have about this new thing I found, right? And this new thing is actually an old thing. So I'm coming in feeling like I almost feel like, wait a minute, why didn't nobody tell me about this, right? But it's metal. It's like, however I missed it, but I didn't. And I'm so excited. And when you are excited about things, you tend to talk about it. But where the difference is where I come from, my background and my upbringing, nobody really listens to metal. These are hip hop babies. These are R&B babies. These are soul babies, and these people don't really listen to metal. So the only people I have to talk to are the people that responded to my first video. So I'm like, well, I want to make a video about this. That's why my first video, my talking head video, was about metalheads, about why they're so different, and because I never experienced the kind of love and support from from a music genre in a sense in the fans. I never experienced love and support that kind of way, especially being so new, right? It's in hip hop it's a little different. Where if you, for example, if I use this example in one of the videos, I say if you didn't know all the members of the Wu Tang, you'll get clowned. What you mean you don't know the members? And what you mean you don't know who? What you mean you don't know about that Nas first album? You don't know about this? It's kind of like a joking thing. In metal, it's like, hey, let me teach you. Oh, you don't know who Ozzy Osbourne is? Well, let me teach you. If you don't know who, it can be legendary figures. Oh, you never heard Metallica? Listen to this album. It's like I want to bring you in. I want to show you this thing that I love, and I'm excited to show you. And not only am I excited to show you, I want to know what you think. And if you don't like it, cool. What else? What do you like? Maybe I can introduce you to something else. So that was the thing for me. I was like, I wanted to show my love for how I was treated. How it was a very, very warm welcome, and I'm really in now because if the fans and the metalheads are like this, and I'm learning to understand this music, and they're helping me along the way. I think we got something beautiful going on. I'm gonna just stick with it. I learned hip hop. I know everything there's about soul, R&B, and hip hop. Right. I'm learning jazz a little bit, and but metal and rock, I just obviously, other than some of the biggest songs in the world that you would hear on movies or commercials, I just didn't know. So now I'm diving into this new thing, and they're teaching me, and the stuff I'm learning about and the history and when it started, how this genre bleeded into this genre, and all these different mini subgenres of metal. It's just all exciting for me. So it's like a kid in the candy store, and I'm like, I'm ready to tell it. So I make these talking head videos to show I don't want to just do reaction videos. People doing that all day long. People will bore you with that all day long. Let's talk about if you're going to go on a journey with me, I need you to know what I'm thinking every time I'm thinking it. You know, if I'm having trouble somewhere, if I don't understand something, if I'm at a weak point, if it's some joy, if it's a new artist that I love, and I want to talk about that one new artist, then I'm going to do that.
I love that approach. And I've done some of that too. I mean, I do mainly reactions, but I've made some other, not reactions. But
Mhm.
what did you what did you expect? Like when you talked about the metalheads, metalheads are built different. I think
Yeah.
is the title.
hmm
But so you had this idea you were going to make that video, but what did you expect? I mean, did you expect it to be? It's at 80 whatever
No,
thousand views.
not in no way I could have. Yeah, like before that, maybe my most watched video was maybe 3-4 thousand, maybe. You know what I mean? So I'm not thinking nothing like that. But also, I'm I think what it is I'm really big on letting people know where I am. So a couple of things. It used to be a defense mechanism where I need to let you know who I am so you can't attack me with it. Right? So let me just throw it out there so you can't use it against me in a weaponizing kind of way. Um, but this thing, I was so excited, and I was showing a perspective from somebody who's not a metalhead, somebody who's coming in trying to learn this thing, and let the people know how I'm being treated. And also, I want to thank you for that. It really was a thank you video to all who kind of usher me in or kind of trying to help me usher me in. So it wasn't necessarily for a response or anything, but I'm just letting them know, like, hey, I appreciate y'all. I appreciate this. This is from the bottom of my heart. I don't have to do this, but I'm excited, and I feel like I feel like I want to do this because you all should know that you rock. This is dope, and you got to remember, I come from hip hop. That's not a thing that anybody would have done. That's 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 not, it's a difference. I've been in hip hop my whole entire life, and I'm not comparing what's better than who. It's not a thing about that. It's more so like, man, I've never experienced this kind of like love and support just by wanting to know about this thing, this new thing, and I thought that was awesome, and that makes me want to talk about it all the time.
Maybe you mentioned it and I didn't hear it, but you also, is it accurate to say you fell in love with the music as well?
100%.
Like
He's
unexpectedly, possibly?
100%.
Yeah.
100%. So what it was I didn't know. I had an idea of what I thought metal was, right? And I'm gonna give you the straight up idea of what I thought. I thought loud, uh, everything before I even knew the term gutturals, growls, and all these things. I thought it was just that loud and and depending on what rooms you are, demonic. These are things I was told, programmed, and taught to think, right? So I'm when I hear the first video I did was Eloy Casagrande, a drum reaction video, and I learned he was a new drummer for Slipknot and from another band, I think Sepultura, and I'm watching him kill it on the drums. I'm like, this is amazing, but I'm still not thinking like metal. I'm just thinking like this is a drummer for Slipknot. I've heard of Slipknot. I don't know who they are, but I heard of a group called Slipknot. I know they do rock or something, and he killed it, right? So I did a reaction to that video because I'm a musician first. So anybody doing drums, guitar, any kind of instruments, they're killing it. I'm already locked in to see what this sounds like, and that was the first wave. But then when I did Tool, they told me to do Tool. The comments told me to do a group named Tool, it's called Tool, and another group called Falling in Reverse. When I heard those two songs, neither one of them sound like the idea of what I think metal is. Neither one. I did the pot, and I did God is, I think God is a weapon. I think for Falling in Reverse, and neither one of those songs are any idea of what I thought metal was. So once I did the pot, I'm like, wait a minute. this is a little bit funky. I know
Yeah.
funk, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
I do know that, right? And I'm
Yeah.
like, wait a minute, this is a little funky. And I'm like, wait, how is this metal? So what happens is, in my mind, I'm thinking, well, what don't I know about metal? What are the elements in this song that makes this metal? So now I'm intrigued. Now I have to know more. And who is Tool? Why is this song so funky as well? And this is incredible. So then you go down the rabbit hole, and I was locked in from then, man. I was done.
Another reason I think our channels or our story is similar is that, oh well, first we're both, well, let me go, there's a list of things that I've made that I think we're similar. So in your an older video, talking head video that I mentioned earlier before we started recording, you mentioned you started this channel for a creative fulfillment,
Yes.
and that's why I started. So similar to me, I was a former graphic designer. In my career, I got away from anything design, and I was doing more like data and spreadsheets, and I was missing like that expression of creativity. And that's
Hmm.
exactly why I started. And then similar to you, I picked a genre. In my case, it was K-pop. I had never
Okay.
heard K-pop. It's huge, obviously, and so
Hmm.
I just thought, what am I missing? Like I should just try it
Right.
and see, because I thought it was just like any other pop,
Hmm.
and I learned like I couldn't have been more wrong. And so I think we have that kind of like going in as the outsider
100%.
perspective
For
that
sure.
people really seem to enjoy.
I, it, but even still, if you are one of the ones who are not really truly being real about it, then you
Yeah.
can make up the fake beginning story too, the how you got in it, right?
Oh,
I feel
sure, yeah,
like,
sure, yeah,
right,
yeah,
right. So there's obviously something about you and I that are coming off different to people, right? And sometimes that's the hard part where I can't really put a pin on that. It's but the people will tell you the comments. Hey man, I love your videos. You're so genuine. The way you come off. I love how you break down. They've said in my comments, man, I love how you talk about the music, or I love how you. Uh, when I listened to the pot, it was the pot. I forgot which one I listened to. I remember the first time I got the concept right just by hearing it, and I heard it. I'm like, man, it seems like they're talking. Oh, it was Stairway to Heaven by Led Zeppelin, and I remember I talked about what I thought that record was about, and they were like, man, you were spot on. Like they were like, and that lets us know, like not only are you going to say yes, this is good, or no, I don't really like it, but I'm taking the time to like, wait a minute, do y'all hear the instrumentation here? Do you hear the musicality in this? Do you hear what the drums are doing here? I love the backgrounds coming in. So I'm coming at it. They don't know I'm a musician yet, but I'm hearing this through like musician ears of like, wait a minute, this is incredible, and I'm not even sure you know why it's incredible, right? Like, because as a fan, we listen to sounds in a way where sometimes they're just jumbled up and it's colors, right? And people like the way this thing is being colored. But as musicians or people who like instrumentation, you're thinking like, wait a minute, you don't understand. That was the E chord. That wasn't even supposed to be right there, but he made it fit with the way the guitars came in. So I'm coming at it from that aspect of breaking it down, and also not understanding how important. I'm just being honest. Not understand how important the guitars are to metal, and not so much. I mean, it is the drums, because hip hop, the drums are everything. The drum is how the beat is made, right? So the drums is first. In metal, the guitars are very, very, very the sound, right? It's a driving force. Yes, you need a drum. Yes, you need these other elements, but the guitars is a driving force. The riff, why that's a big thing, and so I have to learn that as a musician also. So I'm coming at it differently, and the people are picking that up. Like we're getting a little bit more from him than him just looking at us and saying like, "Oh, the record's nice. Oh, this record's dope. Oh, I like this record." But you're picking like all top 10 classics. Of course, you're gonna say all these records are some of the most famous songs in the world, right? But what I'm doing is I'm picking the songs that they're not reacting to. So I have a council of friends now that I've met doing YouTube that really are been really like getting close and talking, being on the phone and building relationships. And I always want to do the songs that people aren't doing, because it's easy to say, "Are you going to do Metallica? I'm going to do Iron Maiden. I'm going to do Judas Priest." All these people, right? But what about the people looking for like the bands that people aren't reacting to? What about the Guars? What about like Cannibal Corpse? What about the records that people aren't really reacting to. Because if you're going to get into metal for real, then try to cover it all. Don't just do the top 10 most famous bands in the world and then try to play with the people with their intelligence as in like you're reacting to it. You come with the thumbnail with the that face, and everybody looks crazy, right? And but so I think it's ringing off a little more genuine than other people may think.
Right. So you want to do some artists that are not going to get 100,000 views when you post that reaction. It's like the lesser known, but
Yeah,
you're not.
I think
Yeah,
I think look. I think that's the easy part, right? You can do the Metallica, cool, and we're going to do that. They're legends for sure, right? But I think to get a well-rounded idea of what metal is, you got to dip off into some of those other subgenres, right? If we're gonna do thrash, and then you're gonna do death and black metal, depending on how deep you want to go into those little rooms, right? But also, I do want to do power metal. I do want to do pirate metal, something crazy as pirate metal, which may be crazy to some people or may be very niche. But also, it's like, wait, where is he? For him to be so new, this is how I think about myself in a sense. For me to be so new in this genre we call metal, how did he even get to pirate metal? And why would he even know about this? Why would you even dive into it? Well, that's also me. Instead of me making a bunch of talking head videos, I'm actually showing you that I'm really in this. I really want to learn about it. I really want to know. And I got the rest of my life to do this. I got 60, 70 years of music behind me to fulfill. So I want to go into all these little genres, these little rooms, and make reaction videos because they're all a part of metal. And if you don't like it, somebody do. This is a thing, obviously. So I don't want to just do. Look, everybody did the pot. Once I did the pot, because they told me to do the pot, and once you do the pot, I seen that. Okay, everybody did the pot, right? And that's going to happen. But what about those other records that Tool did that a lot of people aren't doing? Right, the records that's in the middle of the album, the fillers, the you know what I mean. So I'm looking at it from that kind of perspective of I want to cover all the genres if I can. Yeah,
okay, amazing. And if you do any more Tool, I'll watch all of them. So you could do every song,
for sure.
and
I
I'll
love Tool.
watch it. Yeah, that's another reason. Another thing we have in common is Tool. Tool's like my number one band
Absolutely amazing.
of all time.
Tool. Let me say this real quick. Tool, being progressive, right? I love Tool because Tool, to me, Tool is how you should look at music. And no matter the genre, no matter the artist, I think you should look at music like Tool. And what I'm saying is that Tool isn't afraid to go anywhere. I'm talking about with content, the topics, with sound, with timing, right? Like Tool isn't afraid to go anywhere, and they're in constant display of doing that. It's the reason why in the comments you have people arguing, is this metal or not, right? Because they're not afraid to go anywhere. And I think as artists, for most of us who are creatives and artists, we should all live our lives in that kind of way, right? If you're creating something, you shouldn't be afraid. You shouldn't look at these four walls of what they tell you metal is, or what the box sound of what this is, right? When you know your mind is creating outside, your mind is thinking outside of this, then make what's outside of it. And I think Tool is a prime example of those guys. Like, look, we're gonna go. This song is gonna be 9, 10 minutes long. The timing is gonna be whatever it's gonna be. It's not gonna be enforced. It's gonna be whatever we make it, and we're gonna give it to the people, and it's gonna come off. And I love the fact that they force you to think. They're doing records that like doing what's the record with is it Lateralis when they do the Fibonacci sequence. So the fact that you're doing that, you care a whole lot about creativity in art, in the music. And you have to appreciate that somebody took the time to do that. Because a lot of people are just taking our money. They're doing songs, they know they're going to get paid because you like them, and they're just putting out whatever. They're not rehearsing, the shows are getting more terrible, right? So when you do have a group like Tool who's doing the extra work to be different, be way creative, and put these little nuggets, these little things in the music, you got to appreciate that. They're
I
amazing.
agree. I agree with everything you said. No surprise coming from a Tool fan. There, oh gosh, there's so many. There's others too, and let me just ask you a random question. Have you done Sleep Token yet?
Not I did the drummer. I did
Oh
two
yeah, the Drumeo thing.
Drumeo, yeah,
Yeah,
Drumeo thing, but I
yeah.
I don't think I've done the music yet, though.
Okay.
I don't think. I'll double check.
Okay. Uh,
I don't think.
I would, based on
Wow.
your description of Tool, while you were saying that, I think that way about Sleep Token, to give you an idea.
Oh, okay.
Because
Okay.
they have like the variety of music and specifically the debate, is this metal or
Hmm.
not? That happens with
Hmm.
Sleep Token as well.
Okay.
And
Okay.
they have songs that are full force, like just screaming, extremely fast drumming, and then they have some that are a piano ballad.
Mm.
It's like it's a wide range, and so I'm not trying to sell you on it, but it just that's what I
No.
thought of when you were describing Tool. That's why I also a reason I like Sleep
Let,
Token as
let me
well.
let me put you on the spot now.
Yeah, yeah.
I'll do Sleep Token. Which song should I do? I'll react to Sleep Token.
Oh God, I'm gonna get murdered in the comments for this. Oh, how do I even answer that? Uh, there's no upside to this. I would say here's okay. Let me explain my train of thought, and
Okay. Okay.
maybe that'll save me
Okay.
from all the hate I'll get. my my favorite album. Oh, and by the way, so it's clear, like when I'm doing reactions, typically I listen to an album straight through.
For sure. For
It's
sure.
just the way that feels right for me.
Hmm.
That I don't know. It just makes I don't know. So that's just the way I do it. But so my favorite album from them is "This Place Will Become Your Tomb." It's blue, guys underwater on the front,
Okay.
and I would say that I just love that album in general, and I think that the first two tracks on that album, uh, Atlantic and Hypnosis,
Hmm.
are excellent songs. And
Okay.
so,
I'll do one of those then. For
yeah,
sure.
okay,
For
cool.
sure.
That would be
Okay.
amazing.
My
I
next
would.
Sleep Token is gonna be. Maybe
Oh
next week.
God,
I'll
did
put that
I
next week
did
for
I
sure.
get that right? Let me now. Now I'm freaking out. I gotta go. I gotta go and check the album. Yeah, Atlantic and Hypnosis.
Okay.
Okay. Yeah. Got it. Okay. So at least I got the song titles right.
For
In
sure.
the album right. Okay. Those are. Yeah. No, I don't want to give you any more information than that. That's
For
those are
sure.
two of my two opening tracks, and I even made a video. I made a short saying that I think that album in particular has like I phrase it like I think this album has like the greatest track one and track two on like any like
Oh,
hard
okay.
rock like metal album
Yeah.
for me. Just my opinion, right? I'm
For
not
sure. For sure.
comparing or whatever, but that's what I think.
Mhm.
And so that's when you asked me that question, that idea
For
came
sure. For sure.
rushing into my head. So that's where I go with that.
It's a question. It's kind of like when it comes to like a whole genre of music with a history of so many legendary songs and things, it's hard to just pick out a song or a couple of songs to,
Yeah,
especially being put
yeah.
on the spot like that, right? But so I totally understand. As you asked me, I said, wait a minute, I never did. I don't think I did. I know I did the drumming video with two, but I was like, man, I never got around to doing Sleep Token because people ask me all the time, but I always assume that I said I've done Sleep Token, but maybe I haven't. So I have to do that. I have to do that.
Speaking about comments, and like one of the reasons I started my channel is because I felt like I was in a rut with the music I was listening to. I also
Okay.
needed this creative outlet,
Hmm.
and watching other people doing reactions, they always said like one of the benefits is that people will say, "Oh, if you liked that song or that band, try these other bands," and so you get
For
this
sure.
endless list
Hmm.
of new music to try, and so which is great. But then watching your video from a while ago, I think it was the conquering depression and embracing change at 40 plus, and you give some really excellent advice in there. And
Thank you.
I'll remind you. You said something. I think I'm paraphrasing here, but you said something to the effect of you always want to do what is important to you and what you want to do, and not necessarily always just do what the people in the comments are telling you to do, because then you're going to
Yeah.
end up in a place that you're just unfulfilled really.
Yep.
And so
Yep.
how are you balancing, because you must have I mean, 1,000 different songs and albums that people have suggested to you. So
Yeah,
how are you handling that?
I think so. For me, and well, so a couple of things. When I did that video, for the people who don't know, that was before I even discovered metal, right? So that was more specific to whatever it is I'm doing in a sense, right? Then people may be trying to drive you somewhere, and you may have an idea of things you want to do, or you may be doing something and they're trying to add advice. So, but you got to do what's true to you and keep it going your way, right? In metal, it's kind of like whichever way you throw me, it's all new for me anyway. So it's a little different in metal, right? I have tons of songs, and people kind of ask how I generally pick songs is who's being mentioned the most, right? It's like I got a list of people and a list of songs, and then okay, you get Tool, and then people say Tool. People have been mentioning Tool so much. It's like, hey, I did that video already. Yeah, like I've done that reaction. I got to show them that I did that reaction. So it's like, okay, Tool is a band I know I can always go through and do, and it get a really good reaction. But also, not really having the time to go through these albums sometimes, it's still cool for me because I'm learning about these bands that I love still, right? Iron Maiden is, as of right now, my metal journey, they're my favorite. And but Iron Maiden has so many albums, right? I can't even listen. I obviously haven't listened to all of them, right? But when I'm dealing with the people, it's more so how I'm feeling, and if a band keep coming up, then I'm like, okay, that's a very important band. People keep asking, let me get the people that band. Or say if I'm watching a premiere and we're all talking in the chat, and somebody say, hey, look, you should do such and such band. I say, you know what, I'm gonna do that for you, and I'll do it. The one thing you can't do is pay me to do it. I tell people that all the time. I said in a video one time, don't send me cash apps or don't send me no kind of donation to play a song. I don't want to get caught up in that because if you open yourself up to pay for play, then people will pay you for anything. So now it's like, okay, you can pay me to do, Lorna Shore or Sleep Token or whatever, but you can't pay me to do your band that you got back home with you and the fellas, you and the guys, right? Because that's not the same kind of thing, and I don't want you just sending money through, and I got to send all this money back, right? So I don't do pay for play in no kind of way. I don't want people to. I tell people all the time, don't pay me for a song. Don't pay me. They still do it. People send $5 here, $10, and I say I'll respond. Hey, please don't pay me for it. I can't. I'm not going to do that. That's the only thing. But other than that, people can pretty much drive me anywhere when it comes to metal as far as that goes. But that point is important, what you said. In life, period, right? It's like I have an idea. I have a way I do things, and I move in a certain kind of way that appeases to whether it's the passion in me or a goal or a purpose, right? That purpose has to be fulfilled in the way that I see fit. I can't let you drive me another way because it throws off the destiny in it all, right? If I'm destined to go this way, then I can't take your advice on that because I need to be right and know this is the way to go or fail on my own this way. But I can't have you to blame. I have to, it's important that I learn these things on my own. So I have to stand down and stay down on what I'm on and move in that certain kind of way. And I think a lot of us should take that advice in a sense. If I fall, I want to fall on my own. I don't want to have to blame you for that because I didn't really learn anything.
So not just songs, let's say,
Hmm.
but do you also receive comments of people saying, hey, you should do your reactions this way or that way, or you should do this other type of video?
Yeah.
Anything like that?
Yeah. Not necessarily reactions per se. I think it's usually it's technical stuff, right? Hey, look, you need better lighting. I say, hey man, I just started this thing, and so what I mean. So I'm trying to explain to them like, hey, I just started this thing, and if you know music, which a lot of them don't know, when you do reaction videos, uh, a lot of them aren't eligible to make money because copyright stuff, right? So for the most part, it's the love of, but it's also another reason I can choose to do live streams or talking head videos where I don't get copyright. So I'm not making money from these things like that. So it's like the lighting I have is the lighting I can afford
Right.
between bills and living,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
So you'll get those, and I appreciate, I understand, I appreciate it. It's just that you're looking at a lot of people are looking at the beginning stages of whatever they think this is going to be, right? I've been in metal, we could say 7, 8 months maybe, like so. I'm literally it's like I got here yesterday, so I don't have the big studio right now. I'll be in my son's room with a little rinky-dink little laptop set up, and until it gets better. But then again, here's the thing: there's a there's a special place about where you are when you're starting out, right? The special place, it's a purity in that. It's money a lot of times messes up a lot of things, right? Once you people get comfortable, you start to lose the genuine aspect of certain things, right? I'm not comfortable, and what I mean by that is that I have to work. I gotta take this stuff down so I have room in my house to move around. I gotta work with the lights. I have all these things, and that keeps me producing a video every other day. I'm doing a video every other day, like clockwork, every other day, every other day. So, so you got to understand that's a lot of work,
It
right?
is.
But it's dedication. And if I have a goal, then I got to keep going. When you get comfortable, all this money flowing in, and you have to worry about things, you start to miss a few days. You start to do other stuff. You start to go on vacation, and the videos start to be a little lackluster. You don't really care as much, right? So what you are seeing now is the passion for a new thing I'm learning, a new thing that I'm loving, and just let it organically grow how it's supposed to grow. It's just like artists, right? One thing I hate about hip hop, I love hip hop, but I gotta say, one thing I hate about hip hop is you'll get a rap artist who comes out, he has a new album, right? And on this new album, we're struggling and all the things. We don't have the money, and we try to survive and all these things, whatever, whatever. And then album number 2, there's a Lamborghini, a chain, there's a mansion. Like, wait a minute, where is the growth? You just left your fans. The people who like that, they aren't there yet where you are now. So for me, it's like, right. You think about that. You have to grow. People
It's
want
the
to grow
journey.
with you.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's a journey. The reason why I do those talking head videos also is because I need you to know that in this moment, I have another talking head video where I talk about dealing with my depression, and I talk about how it's hard for me sometimes to make these videos, and I'm smiling and doing reactions or doing these videos because the minute the camera comes off, I'm back to my real life and dealing with depression, right? Now I'm dealing with kind of like muscle memory where I'm doing these videos now every other day, right? The reason why I have to be honest about that is because I need you to know this is not a cakewalk, it's not easy, and I'm human, right? And it's kind of like a couple of things. Like I said, I'm a Christian, so also it's a faith thing. So it's a cry for help, not in a way where I'm not gonna say the word. I'm not gonna get too dark. You'll never have to worry about me harming myself. Let me say that. You'll never have to worry about that. But I always put my things out there for help, whether it's prayer, whether it's talk. Somebody want to talk about something. Maybe I need to release, and that is my rated release. So I talk about these things also because I use it as a testimony. If I'm dealing with this thing, I can't be the only one. So when I do a video about depression and me trying to fight through it, I get tons of people in the comments or my email or Instagram saying, "Hey man, I deal with the same thing. Keep fighting. Keep pushing through." I'm so glad you said that, man, because I'll be feeling like I'll be just going through this alone. But none of us are alone in this stuff. None of our problems are so original that nobody else is dealing with it. So, so I want to give you the whole journey. And it just so happens that my life is now a part of this journey. So when I go through my things, right, there's obviously stuff I'll be going through. And I'm married, so if it was marital problems, I'm not going to get in here and say my marital problems. But also, I'll get in here and say, "Hey, man, I'm having a heavy month, and I may not do a video the next 2 days because of some stuff. And it may be about my family, it may be marital, but I'm also being clear with this is a journey, and I really want you guys on it, but also in respects to my boundaries, also. So I let you guys in, but don't bulldoze through, and So I think it's important when I have these talks and being vulnerable. And to your question earlier about the connection and how my page, where the growth comes from, that's part of the thing. That people feel like you aren't just a person who do reaction. You kind of like my friend now. If we've been spending this 8 months together, having these kind of personal discussions, in real, if we were in person, we would be considered friends. We talked about personal
Agree.
things,
Yeah.
right? So it's just a deeper way to connect, and I'm big on connection.
I man, I love that. It leads me to another thing that we have in common is, if I'm looking at it correctly, you uploaded your first video in July of 2024.
Mm.
I uploaded my first one in September of 2024.
Oh wow,
Yeah,
yeah,
so we're almost running the exact same timeline.
wow.
And the other point I'll make is that the reason I started this channel was I again, I needed a creative outlet, but
Mhm.
I had been laid off twice in 9 months.
Mm,
And it had been like 2 months since the second one. And I was not happy, let's say, to your point about like, I
for
just
sure.
needed to do something, put the
Yep.
headphones on, tune out all this, and it's not an easy time to find a job either. So I was struggling. I couldn't get any response when I applied, like no
Mm,
interviews. It was awful. So that was the reason. That was another reason I just had to do something.
yeah.
I wasn't as vocal about that, I think, as
Mm,
you have been. You've been very open about that part of it. I like alluded to it and kind of touched on it, but that's why I'm just so I appreciate your openness and
thank you.
what you put into those videos. And I'll say this, you have a talent for it, because
Thank you.
you can sit there and talk for 40 minutes to the camera, and I understand it. I don't feel like you're repeating things. Conversations tend to circle. Like, if I do it, if I don't have like a bullet point, I'll
Mm,
like repeat topics over and over. And you have this way of just clearly stating it without repeating it. It's understandable. It's personal. And I just really, that's a long-winded way to say I really love those two videos. Like, your most
thank
popular
you.
videos are,
I appreciate that. I really do. Yeah.
to exactly to your point. Like, that you're not the only person going through some kind of adversity or struggle, and that's what I definitely related to when I watched those videos. In fact, your video about the conquering depression at 40 and over, I sent that link yesterday to a friend of mine, and he responded. And he's like, "Man, I really needed to hear that today." He's like, "Thank
Oh
you for
wow.
sending me that."
It's a connection, man. We're like I said, we deal with so many narratives of war and politics and all these things, man. And you would just think that you would think people aren't really getting along that way, but it's not really like that. It's not really. You kind of got to see it. Not to go too much up for our subject, but you kind of got to see that with the whole World Cup being down here in America, right? See all these videos of how like everybody was really appreciated how Americans were treating all these people from all around the world, and to the people, we're like, yeah, we're cool. Like everybody's cool. We like nobody's really tripping like that, and you would think, but it's the way it's marketed and broadcasted to the world that we are whoever you're from. We're this big bad giant, right? And all this stuff are and not to go too far off, but when it comes to like the major crisis in the world, they're a small group of people. These people are very powerful, but a very small group of people. And that stuff trickles down to us, and we pay for a lot of it. But when we deal with one another, we connect to one another, man. It's a beautiful thing. And that's where the connection, that's why it's important that if I have a platform, you have these kind of conversations. Because I feel like you and I, we have this conversation now, right? And yes, we're talking about music and we're talking about reaction videos. But understand that with you talking about how you lost your job 2 times, it was a dark moment for you. You didn't know what the job what you were going to do with job stuff, and I'm talking about my depression and stuff like that. Somebody will hone in on those two things. Like, wow, I'm going through that right now, and he got through it. That guy got through it. So if it's just one or two people that can learn something from those two things, I feel like the whole conversation was more than worth it in a sense. And I think it's stuff that happens like that is way more important than the music. I'm not saying the music is not important. I'm saying that beautiful things are happening even inside the music and adjacent parallel to the music. And I think that human connection part is a big, big thing. I've learned and met so many people being here in metal, just expressing myself and meeting people and being willing to talk and being willing to open a DM and respond. right? Being willing to open the email and respond, and just meet. Look, I responded to your email. Hey, that was just a week ago, maybe a week ago.
Yeah,
Now we're
yeah.
doing an interview,
I
right?
know.
We didn't know each other.
No,
We didn't
no.
know nothing about
And
each other.
and I've never done that before. I
See?
literally don't know anyone else who's like as active on YouTube as I am. So you're the first person
Hmm.
I've any other person
Wow.
I've reached out to, and I was just amazed that you even read the email and then
Right, right,
responded right
right.
away. Yeah. So it's
That's a
been
beautiful thing, man.
yeah. So I what to touch on your last point, it's like you mentioned we're talking about music, but there's so many other adjacent or underlying themes here, and one that's been in my head lately that I didn't discover about myself
Hmm.
and music is I'm not a former musician like you are, but I found that I have a very uh, like a potent response to music, and so the
Okay.
label I've been putting on myself is like audiophile, but I
Hmm.
don't know if that really there's something else like because I have music that'll make me tear up, I'll cry if I hear like piano music. There's part of the reason I mentioned the hypnosis track from Sleep
Hmm.
Token is there's a section of that song where I get head to toe chills
Wow.
every single time I listen to it. And so I've been putting these kind of things together and I'm like, there's something else. It's not just that I like music, it's like I'm having these physical responses to it
Yeah.
that without this channel I wouldn't have really noticed, or even like because people in the comments are asking me like
Hmm.
what's going on with you, like are you neurodivergent, are you on the spectrum, is there something else, and I'm like I didn't even know I was different or that I was
Right. Right.
whatever.
Right. Yeah.
And so so that's my thing now, and so I like the that leads into the question for you, like what have you learned about yourself having like because of the music, like like
Hmm.
without the music I wouldn't have made this channel, period, like that was
Right. 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 For
the
sure.
thing.
The music part has been the misconceptions, but in the misconceptions you learn about people. So I explain that. So I came in with a bunch of misconceptions of what I think about heavy metal, right? And as I'm being introduced to music and more tracks, I'm learning about the misconceptions are just misconceptions, and you get to learn the beauty and the soul of people who are now creating this music, which you can now see freely and open, right? The veil is down, the wall is down, right? So you kind of take it in a way where you completely open minded and you can hear it for the first time ever now, and now you're like, oh wow, that's what you've been trying to express to me the whole time, but I couldn't listen because of religion, satanic panic era, the way I was raised, um, all these things, right? Or we listen to hip hop and I don't listen to nothing else, or you're stuck in one genre. So I learned that the most by actually hearing. Like, people always say when I got into metal, they say, because I used to always try to hear the lyrics, depending on the group I'm listening to. Somebody may be doing some growls or some gutturals, and I'm like, hey, I don't know what they're saying, so I may be doing a lyric video. But people in the comments say, look, don't worry about the lyrics, just listen and experience it, right? Which also is a good thing, because if you just listen and experience it, and you continue to, I think it'll start coming across what people are saying. You start picking it up, and I don't want to hyper focus on one part of a song and completely miss the other part, right? So I started just experiencing it, started listening, and as I started experiencing it in full, I would hear the beauty of what they're saying in some of these growls, in some of these screams, right? But also the lyrics. The reason why the lyrics are so important is because if I'm going to connect to an artist, the connection has to be real in a sense. They're talented, yes. They're incredible with vocals or guitar or bass or whatever, yes. But what are they like as people? And how are these songs representing them in a way? A lot of kids are theater kids. I understand that, right? A lot of people are playing with different topics, but don't really believe in these topics, right? You got Guar that wears costumes and stuff like that and spit blood on the crowd, right? Or you got some people that play like they're Satanists, but they don't really believe in the devil. They're just playing with dark music, right? Then you have some that are all involved in the thing they say they're involved in. We have that corner of metal also, but I learned mostly that as people, we're at scratch that. I'm gonna tell you about the time I was driving in the car, and I made a whole video about this. I'm driving in the car. I'm listening to Alice in Chains, right? And I'm listening to Jar of Flies, and the song Nutshell. I'm driving. I'm driving down the street. I'm on my way home. The song Nutshell comes on, and I'm listening to the song, and I'm like, wait, what is happening? Because the lyrics that I'm hearing are about my life. Now, I understand that he's talking about addiction, but what he feels is speaking to the way I feel when I'm depressed, right? In a room full of people, feeling alone and feeling like I'm by myself and feel like I can't express myself. All these things he's saying, this is me. I was so overwhelmed and so knocked down by that song, I started crying and I couldn't drive, so I pulled over. Right? I pulled over and I'm listening to the song and I'm sitting there. So I'm in the car. At this point now I'm rocking like this. Right? So I'm hearing the music and I'm crying. It's crying. It's flooded. I'm in the car, parked on the side of the street. And by the time I gather myself, I put the song, I'm repeating the song again. Now I'm on my way home just repeating the song. And I get home and I say, I got to talk about that. I have to talk about what just happened, because that's why music is so important and so powerful. That this person, somewhere in the world, somewhere now I find out that he has passed already, right? But somewhere in the world, this person felt exactly like I feel right now in 2026. Right now, this black kid from Watts, California, who just found metal, can identify with exactly what you feel when you wrote this song right now. And I don't know how you know. It feels like you know you're talking to me, right? So I couldn't carry that. And so I broke down. And I made a video about, that's the first reaction I did it's not a reaction. I just gave my experience on what happened and I talked about the song. But I didn't react to it because I didn't want to make it performative, right? If I did the whole thing and talk about the music and everything, it had just been performative. It wasn't about performance. It was about connecting with people. Now, to find out the horrible story he had dealing with addiction and end up passing from this addiction, that's the only way we didn't identify, right? But outside of the actual addiction to the actual thing and then him passing, everything else about that song was me. Every word about that song was how I felt, not just in that moment, but at many times before. And I'm like, so it also reminded me of like, oh, this is what it's like. You thought one thing about this genre, but it's many different sounds. It's many different ways to write music. It's many different topics and subjects. It's many different things, and all of them can connect with you depending on where you are in your life. And for me, the music brought me to that moment to where it talks to me like it talks to you. You are hearing music in a certain way where it's almost like biology in a sense, where the music is moving you, is dealing with things inside of you that you don't necessarily understand yet, but it's connecting with you in real time, right? So for you to hear a song or hear music or hear a certain B section or a bridge to a song, and for you to cry real tears in real time, it's connecting to something inside of you. Now, we'll figure that out in life, whether we figure it out in therapy or life or whatever. It's not a bad thing. It's just like things happen in a certain kind of way. And music is one thing. It's a universal language, right? We can hear music that's not in our own language and identify. I heard a song. I heard a song the other day. This whole song was it was African. It was an African woman singing this song, and I knew she was singing about Christianity. I don't know no words, but the feeling felt like this is spiritual. Oh, this is Jesus Christ. I know it is. I don't have to know what she's saying. I just knew. It spoke to me in a certain kind of way. And as I read through the caption, somebody kind of what's the word I'm looking for? Interpreted. And somebody, I think interpreted. Yeah, I think so. Yeah. And the words was, it was a Christian song. It was a gospel song. that didn't sound like traditional Western gospel, right? But it connected in a way where it sound like that. So sound is speaking to you in real time, and that's just something we got to figure out. But it just means you feel the music a little deeper than somebody else will. It's just you know it's a beautiful thing though for music can drive you a certain way because you can also use that music to be therapeutic in a way where you need to release, right? Nutshell is a song I can always go to no matter who I got to talk to. I can always go to Nutshell and say, well, he understand me, he gets it. You know what I mean? So that's a beautiful thing, and music and metal specifically for sure, because it's mass. It's kind of like it's what's the word I'm looking for? It's kind of like it's like a mask of like all these other things you think: dark, satanic, evil, angry, aggressive. You think all these things, but once you get past all that, you're like, no, it's beautiful. It's love. It's heartache. Yeah, it can be dark. Yeah, it can be aggressive, but it can be a release. It can be joy. All these things, you know. So getting into metal and understanding that is where I learned that, and that's why I'm still here, and that's why I decided to stay. You know.
I think you mentioned that someone in the comments said, "Don't focus so much on the lyrics with this. Just let it, just like
Yeah.
kind of absorb all of it
Mm-hmm.
as the entry point."
Mm-hmm.
Which is just makes me feel good because that's how I do it. That's my reaction. Is I mean, I'm more attuned to the instruments than I am the
For
lyrics
sure.
anyway.
Mm-hmm.
But that's how I don't listen to the words. I listen to how the words are said. Like, do they sound angry? Is there grit in the
Yeah.
voice? Like, are they light and feathery? So that's how I take it all in,
Mm-hmm.
which works for me. And there's no right or wrong. But
For sure.
the flip side of that is the comment I get the most common, or I would not criticism, but it's well, you're not talking about the lyrics, therefore you don't understand the perspective or something. And my point is, like, for me, it's a process, just as you described. It's like I
Yeah.
want the whole package. I want to have like an emotional response to it. If I enjoy it that much, then I'll go the next. I'll peel
For
the
sure.
onion, that top layer, and I'll start
Mm-hmm.
reading the lyrics, and then I'll find out about the humans, and then the backstory and the drama. Now, so it sounded like was that a different approach for you?
Yeah. Yeah. Because I don't have I never had a problem with understanding lyrics before metal,
Yeah. Well,
right?
that's it, because I know your history. You said you've been writing poems since you were 5. You started rapping at
Yeah.
15. So
Yeah.
I thought you were going to
they're
be
very
lyrics would
clear.
be your thing. Yeah, yeah,
Lyrics are, and they are my thing, but it's
yeah,
very clear. I can hear them. I can like
yeah,
so
yeah.
so right. If somebody's rapping, I pretty much I can hear clearly what he's saying, right? So when you deal in metal, sometimes you're once you get past, and I don't know the history all the way, so don't kill me, guys. Remember, I am new here. Um, Once you get past heavy metal, you start to get into some other genres. The voice starts to change, right? The sound of the voice starts to change. So if you get into a lot of screams or growls and gutturals and all these things, I mean, here's the thing. I want you to judge me. Don't put your, I'll say, don't put your whole 20, 30, 40 year career metal experience on me, right? It's like they want, a lot of people want me to understand it like they do now. No, no, no. Put me on the experience when you first heard it. I want to be on that. Put me on that experience, right? Because when you first heard it, you didn't know either what he was saying, right? You lived with it. You listened to it. You probably listened to a lyric video. For the people older than that who didn't have YouTube, they probably took them a little longer to get right to learn the words, right? Judge me from there. Don't judge me from I've been listening to Judas Priest or let me not Judas Priest. I've been listening to Lorna Shore since their first album. I know what he's saying when I first hear it. Yeah, but did you when he first came out on the first album? Probably not, right? So, judge me from there. And to your point, yes, it is a process. A couple of ways to look at it. I want to experience the music. Now I do, though. I do. I'll turn something on. I'll listen to music, and I'm rocking out. They may be doing some really dope, really really deep, that. And but I can like it because I stopped looking at it like it's lyrics and start looking at it like it's an instrument. if I view it as an instrument, I won't try to take the words out of it because I'll eventually learn those, right? So it doesn't bother me the fact that I don't know what that thing is saying right now, that voice is saying right now. But also, here's the thing: when you being in metal, depending on the genre, you can go into some different type of places, right? So the reason why the lyrics are still important to me because I don't want to be playing something that I may be fully against conceptually, right? So so and I don't want. I mean, I bring this up because it's very important to me. My faith is important to me. So this song may sound great in audio, but if you are talking about your love of the devil and evil and worship him and all, that's not for me. It's just not. It's not that I don't. It's just not for me. So now, if you're telling me to just don't pay attention to the words and experience it, well, what if I'm experiencing that? What if it is that? What if I love the music, but the words are saying some of the most crazy, evilest thing ever, and then now I got to decide if that band is really into that or they just playing a part, right? And if they're truly just disrespecting my faith, whatever if they're playing or not. So that's why I go back and forth with that, right? It's like I listen to a record, but then I try to see, okay, let me see what they're talking about. If I know it's not, if I know it's not crazy blasphemy or whatever, then I'll take the time to learn the lyrics. But if I listen to a group and I hear something crazy and I'm like, no, that song is not for me. I don't throw the whole group away though, because I know some songs are like this, some songs are not, and it's art. I truly want you to be who you are as an artist. If that's the way you want to express yourself, that's fine too. I'm not mad at you for that. I just want to deal with that art, that painting, or that whatever you're doing. That's just not for me. And I think that's fair. I think it's fair where I look at it like, hey man, everything is not going to be for you, right? I like chicken, you like steak. Cool, we both eat. All right, cool. So
Right.
yeah,
Yeah, oh gosh, I love that perspective. I mean, even like to give you an example, I love Tool. To me, I feel like every song is, like you said, just like they made that music for me. It's like
yeah,
if I could
yeah.
design a band, I would have designed Tool if I could. But I don't
Real quick,
listen. Yeah.
real quick, I say this: if I could, I wish I would have been there, or I wish I had a hand in writing 4062.
Oh,
Like I
really? Oh,
wish.
let's talk about
That,
that. Please
that's
say
one of
more.
those songs. I'm
Yeah.
like, oh, I wish I could have been there, and I wish I had a hand in that. It's such a. It's one of those songs you just. I sit there and I'm like, what were y'all on? What were y'all do? Like, what were you? Sometimes a song is so amazing. You're like, what were you think? Like, what happened? Like, what I want to know where you were in your life that this sound came out, and then what? Some songs is so it's such a great song, and as you listen to the changes in the song, gets towards the end, it's on your change, and then you have the tempo starts slow up and slow and come back down. These things start to happen, and you're like, how'd you even know to go there? Why'd you do that? It's like you. Anytime you find yourself questioning every part of the song, not because you're mad at it, it's just like, what made you choose that? Because it's perfect, you got it right, but how'd you get there?
Right.
Like, so that's just one of the records I wish I had a hand in. I wish I could tell somebody, hey, I wrote
I wrote down
voice.
this.
Yes, I wrote that. I would love that.
That's
you
so.
know,
Oh,
it's just an amazing record.
so you just have this appreciation for it that
Yes.
you would have loved to be able to put your name on it. Would you?
What? Yeah.
So when you said that, when you brought that up, I was thinking like, okay, well, what were did you have a suggestion? Like, is there something you would have changed, or
The
you just wanted to
46
be you just want to be in the room to understand how this
No,
magic
no.
happened?
If change, no. I
Okay.
wish I'd have did everything they did.
Okay. Got it.
Change, no, no, no. And I would also wish I could have been there. Sometimes, look, I always think to myself when it comes to like great music. I'm always thinking to myself like, what was it like to be in a room when you all created this thing, and also, did you understand that this song that you are recording today, whenever it is in time, that song would play forever and ever and ever. That this song you made, that there will be people in this world, generations that would never get tired of hearing it. That for some of us, it's never going out of style. It's always going to be top tier song, right? There's so many artists who have those kind of records. I always want to know, did you know that was a thing when you were doing, when you were recording, did you know that this was going to be forever? Did Iron Maiden know Hallowed Be Thy Name would be one of the greatest songs ever? Did Led Zeppelin know Stairway to Heaven would be one of the greatest songs ever in life? Did there's certain songs, like, did you know that you were making magic, or were you so in your groove that it was just muscle memory? Was it, you know what I mean? So I'm always really geeky and nerdy about those moments. You know, I know people like to hear the song and like to dance and stuff like that, but for me, I'm amazed at the creation of it all. There was one day there was no song, and then these guys went in the studio and made Stairway to Heaven.
Yeah, yeah.
What? What happened between yesterday and today where that happened? You know,
Right.
so I always look at music in that kind of way. It's really magical in a sense. If you open your mind and lend yourself to the creation process, then I think we all see it as magic that will live on. You know.
You said it. I think because you mentioned, again, I've referenced that video a while ago, but you have this creative outlet. You are a musician, and so it seems completely obvious that you would have that curiosity about how this all happened. I mean, because you
Yeah.
you were doing it yourself, weren't you?
Hmm. Yeah.
So
Yeah.
so so
Hmm?
yeah. Can I ask, like, as your I don't know, uh you know, full disclosure, I don't know much
Hmm.
about your history as a musician, but you were in these rooms, you were creating music, and
Yeah.
did you ever feel like, oh, this is going to be great, people are going to love this, or how did you approach it?
I think for me it was different. So there was a time where I was doing music independently, just for being love of rap, right? I love of being a songwriter and an artist, and you were just doing music independently just to try to be the best. Those moments are just great moments in like passion and fun, right? When it comes to writing records in a business setting, you I would for example, I wrote Snoop Dogg got an album called Malice in Wonderland, and I wrote both singles. I wrote Snoop the first song, I Wanna Rock, and I did Gangsta Love with the Dream. When I did I Wanna Rock, I knew it was something. I knew it was something. I knew it was bigger than anything I've done, and by the tempo and the beat and everything and the way it sound, but I didn't know it was special in a sense. I did know it was special when I went on the road. Warren G was used to tour. I used to go on the road with Warren G. And I remember I was at a hotel. I was at the W Hotel in Manhattan, in Times Square. W Hotel. Snoop Dogg called me. He was at a club somewhere. I forgot where he was, but he was at a club somewhere. I wish I still had that voicemail. I don't understand how I even lost it. But he left me a voicemail. He was like, he said, man, he said, you hear the song? He said, nephew, you hear the song? He said, they playing it back to back. He said, you can hear Snoop screaming. First of all, it's Snoop Dogg. Not before famous Snoop. It's all the way famous Snoop Dogg. Leaving me a voicemail telling me they played the song like 20 times back to back in the club. He's leaving me, not famous me, a voicemail telling me they're playing that song I wrote 20 times back to back in the club. He's telling me this. I What do you do with that? What do you do with that? So for me, I was a part of something I created for somebody who the world loves, right? And being a part of that is special. It's special being a part of that. Have done it for myself, but I've been in a room where that special things were being created, and that's one of the moments where I can say I was a part of that. And not only was I a part of that, I actually wrote that. So what you're hearing is me in the studio. I was in the studio watching one of the most famous rappers in the world look back at me and ask me, "Am I saying it right?" I'm rapping like him. I'm because when you write for Snoop, you would you would write the record and then you would record it, so he would have a reference track to see how you sound, right? So I'm doing my best Snoop impression, but in my words, in my words at the time, and I'm recording. So now he's in there. He listened to the song, learned the song. He's in there re-rapping it. So in between, he's asking me, he's man, is that right? Is that good? Did I say that right? I can't even believe he asked me anything. like you are who you are. And so for me, I've had priceless moments like that where I feel blessed to even be a part of something like that. That's another reason why I look at life the way I do, man. We can look at our lives like maybe not be as happy as we want to be because we don't have all the things we want, right? I don't have all the money I want. I don't have I haven't been able to buy my wife her dream car yet or all these things, right? But I'm so grateful with the life I've led. I'm so blessed to have done some of the things I've done that something beautiful is on the other side of this. So I truly want us all to look at that life in a way like that where, right, we can sit in these dark spaces of not knowing like what today is like. But if you focus on that, tomorrow can end up that same kind of way. You focused on the wrong things, right? I read this book called The Power of Your Subconscious Mind. Great book by Joseph Murray. Talks about your subconscious mind and the things you think and what you tell yourself become real because you don't realize how powerful you are. So if you sit in depression and if you tell yourself your life's not going to be anything, your subconscious is working on your life not being anything, right? But I sit in spaces where I'm grateful and I tell myself all this is temporary. All these things I'm doing now is temporary. Me and you talking about when I started doing YouTube, when I started my video in 2024, I prayed first. I said, God, if this is not what you want me to do, take it from me now. If this is what you want me to do, flourish it, grow it, right? And then I find myself, in 2026 with a significant growth in subscribers. I'm having amazing conversations with guys like yourself, and I'm just continue building an incredible community. I love my community and how they share with me, how they direct me, teach me. So all that's like the way I've subconsciously think about myself and my page and my career, and then how God led me through. So when I think about these moments, I'm always grateful. So I deal with my things, but that's why look, depression is one thing where I deal with that and be openly about that. But I'm so open about that because I know a lot of us deal with depression, right? So I need you to know you're not alone. So let's fight it together, right? Also, I also understand I'm so grateful and so honored to just be here in any space that depression can't beat me though, right? Depression is not my final anything. So when I have these conversations with amazing people, I'm more so trying to be an example of like, hey man, I don't got it all either, but we both gonna be okay. I don't have it. I don't have whatever you think I have. I don't. The life I don't. I'm not even the size I want to be. I don't want to be no. Now, I love myself, but also I would like to be way smaller than this. So I got to get my discipline in check. I got to get my diet in check. It's super hard. I'm an addict when it comes to food, so I got to check all this stuff, right? But I'm honest with that. I'm honest with myself because what's the point of lying to you guys about it? I don't want to lie about these things. So I got work to do. But I'm very expressive because I'm grateful, though. I'm grateful, but we can work on ourselves together. I want to be honest, so you can be honest with yourself, and let's work on ourselves together and be grateful. So, to your point, yes, I have worked on great music and incredible things, and in a moment, you don't know it's magic per se, but you know it's something, and it's different than what you've done before. So,
Right.
yeah.
Amazing. I just want to add on to your I love what you said about depression and challenges in acknowledging that it's not like it turns off. It sounds like you're acknowledging that this is an ongoing thing.
Mm.
It's recognizing you're kind of in the middle of it. There's these things we can do. We can make YouTube videos. We can chat with each other like we're doing now. But we also accept the fact that like once this conversation ends, it might be back to the life and the problems that we have in our life and being just open about it. Like not hiding the fact, not pretending that it's all
Right.
perfect when we turn the camera off.
Well, here's the thing. I don't think that it won't go away, right? I just think we have to do the work, right? I think that depression here's the thing. Depression will take you out if you let it, right? Like stress. Stress will take you out if you let it. If you don't manage stress, right, that you may not like hurt yourself, but stress in other ways will mess with your body physically, right? You can't, right? I just had a friend that just had a stroke, and he's 45. I don't think that it'll be forever. I just think that there's better ways to manage it. One, right? But there's also if we do the work, managing it. Also therapy. Therapy is important. I tell people all the time. Sometimes we can't do it on our own, right? It's another reason why I'm so vocal because I understand that it's hard if I'm dealing with depression here. I'm at the house, my wife is going somewhere, my son is out working, and I'm just here in a dark space. So I need a if I don't talk to my therapist, then I have a counselor of friends I can call. They know what I'm going through. And they know what to do if I call them with this specific problem, right? So this is me managing it, but also trying to heal from whatever it has me in this state in this space. I'm trying to heal from it. So I don't want the people to hear that it can be fixed. It can't be. You can't overcome it. You can. You just got to do the work. You got to want to overcome it. I just don't let it beat you because you have the power to beat it. All of us do. We all have the power to beat depression. We just got to work at it and know that there's methods to do it. So that's all I want to say on that one.
Is it true that you like put your kind of music career on pause at the
Yes.
moment? Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So now that you have a YouTube channel,
Mm-hmm.
have you thought about making music and just posting it to your channel?
Nah, not really. A couple of reasons. I stopped doing music because the music business. I didn't like the business. I did a video. I'm not sure if you caught that video. It's an older video. It's called "Don't Monetize Your Passion." I forgot I forgot the exact title, but it's around that kind of thing. You don't want to monetize your passion, right? And I talked about in that video how so I use an example. My friend, I got this from my friend Badru, who's a good friend of mine. He gave me this example. He said, "Say you're a chef, right? Or not a chef. Say you like cooking, right? You like cooking for the family. When family come over, you cook. When friends come over, you love cooking. Everybody love your food. You cook for parties. You cook for your friends' events. You love cooking. And even when you're bored at the house, sometimes you just cook, right? You love cooking. Everybody tells you, hey, man, your food's really, really good. I think you should sell it. Hey, man, hey, you know what? If you sell plates, I'll come buy some plates. Or if you do this, whatever, I'll come buy some plates. You say, you know what? I think I do want to do that. People say I'm good at cooking. I know I love to cook. Why not make some money? What other thing I love to do, right? So you tell yourself, I want to make it a business. Then you make it a business, right? And now people are buying plates, right? Now it's a business. Here come the complaints. Here come the, oh, this was bland, or this was, oh, this was too. I didn't put enough stuff in this plate, or somebody didn't come get their plate that they paid for, or you made an order that they didn't pay for yet, and they didn't come get the plate. Now you got an extra plate, whatever. So now, and too many people coming down. Now you got to make a meal for 60 people, right? So now, quantity can change quality depending on what you got going on and how you manage your food. Now, you don't do it for the passion no more. You do it because you're on the clock. Now you got to do it. Now, you didn't feel like cooking this morning, but you got to because you got orders that came out and you've been paid already. So you got to cook these things. You got to stand in line. You got to hear the complaints. You got to respond. Now you're telling yourself, I don't think I want to do this no more. You know what? I don't think I like cooking no more. No. You love cooking. You don't like the business. You want to cook when you want to cook. And you should be able to do that. What happened was you monetize your passion. Now you think you don't like your passion. No. You don't want to do the business part no more. The business is messing with your passion, right? You would rather cook for free. When you cook for free, you loved it. You went to bed fulfilled. Everybody was happy. You couldn't wait to get up and do it tomorrow again with no expectations. The minute you start selling it, all the expectations in the world from everybody else but you. And now you hate it. And now you don't cook no more. And now you haven't cooked in 3 or 4 years because of what the business did to you back then, right? But you never really hated it. You hated the business. That's why I tell people you don't always want to monetize your passion. Monetize something you good at. Sometimes monetize. For example, if you can cook really good, but you're an electrician, just be an electrician. Let that pay you. Do the food thing for fun. Now, I'm not saying this in all cases. It's not a flat answer across the board where it does that to you. With me, that's what rap did for me. I mean, the business did for me. I got to be here at this radio station and talk to people who don't know me and going to act like they like the song they just heard that I know they haven't heard. And I got to be at this radio show and do this interview, be at this concert and perform for a bunch of people who don't know me, who don't care about me. I got to do this photo shoot for a magazine I don't care about and I don't read. I got all these things. None of it have anything to do with the music. So now I'm telling myself I don't even want to rap no more. But when I was broke, going from work to the studio and then going from the studio back to work, like I had no problem rapping. I had no problem rapping when I was staying in the studio till 4 a.m. in the morning, then going to work at 6 a.m. I had no problem with rapping. Now I'm getting money for it, and I got all the problem in the world. I don't want to go at all. I don't want to deal with these people. I don't want to deal with none of it because the business scarred me. I'd rather rap for free. When I was rapping for free, I had the most fun in my life. The minute I started getting paid for it, hated it. Even writing those records for Snoop and these other people, like Warren G, Snoop Dogg and all them, even writing those records, they were great moments, and incredible, magical moments. I can't take them away from that. But dealing with the trying to get paid, trying to get your money on time, and it's the things you don't hear about, right? It's like dealing with the artists and trying to negotiate your fees, dealing with where you have to be, time structure, when you got to be here, and okay, I don't want no part of it. So I stopped. My last project I did a project called Breathe in 2015. That was the last project I did, and that was an independent project I did with me and my mans. But I was done after that. I was like, I don't want to do music no more. I'm done, and that's because of the money part. It had nothing to do with my passion for rapping. I love rap and I love songwriting, but the business killed it for me. So that was why I bowed out.
For you, your YouTube channel, it's just 100% passion project for you. You don't. Do you expect it to ever be like, oh, I could do this full time?
Yeah. So the problem I'm having is, before I'm even making money, I'm trying to figure out how to, if it gets to a point where I'm making so much money that I don't have to do nothing else. At that point, I'm already trying to figure out how can I manage this to where it runs on its own in a sense, right? Which is kind of ridiculous if I'm the face of the channel, right? But because I know me now, the only way I see it making it happen that way, where I can make the money and do the channel, is I got to continue showing up in a way where it's fun for me. That's why the learning part is the best part of it, right? If it's just me listening to music, I'll burn out, right? It has to be the learning part, me talking to people, me watching documentaries, me meeting community, right? I plan on doing meetups where I'm going to go. There's a place in, I'm not sure where you're from. I'm from LA, right? There's a place in a city next to LA called Grill 'Em All. It's a food place. It's a metal themed place where I want to go do a meetup there where we all meet up and go have food together and go. I want to go to I'm going to my first metal concert in September, which I'm excited for.
The Sphere? Is that the one at the Sphere? Metallica?
No, that's next year. I'm going to
okay.
Iron Maiden in September.
Awesome.
So I'm excited about that. But I want to go to some local shows with people, with community. Because for me, community is the magic. People look at the videos, right? They look at the videos, they think that's the cool part. Yeah, it's cool, and that's what got people here. But community is what's going to really build out to be the special thing, right? I can sit in front of this thing and listen to music all day and say whether I like it or not. But wouldn't it be cool to let's hang out? Like, let's go get a beer from somewhere. Let's go get a bite to eat and talk metal and teach me something new about a group that I should know that I missed. You know what I mean? And those are the exciting things. And I feel like the more people know you, it can feel you in real time. That's a special thing, and the money will be there. I'm never not looking for money. Of course, I want to make money with the channel for sure. I want to make money with this channel, but the money's going to come. That's the thing you have to understand. If you're doing something what you deem it to be great, or it's a real talent, or it's a special rare thing, the money's going to come. How do you manage it after that? And don't let the money ruin it for you. So I'm trying to run this channel where it's on autopilot. That's why I tell my community, look, this is how I make videos. I got videos coming every other day, right? The reason I can keep doing that is because I know on every Sunday I'm going to do like 10 videos. Every Sunday I know I'm going to do like 10. So with 10, I can schedule them all out.
Yeah, that's how you do it?
100%. There's no way I can do this every day. I would go crazy,
Yeah,
right?
yeah, yeah. Okay, so you do
I
like a
tell people,
batch. Yeah.
I just do a batch. I do a batch. That's why a lot of them are not time sensitive. Sometimes I don't talk about dates. Most of the time I don't talk about dates or what day it is. I'm just doing the music, and I'll tell them too. It's funny, right? Say if I do a batch and I'm wearing this shirt for 5 videos, right? I'll tell them, like, hey man, I'm doing it. I'm doing a batch video. So if you see this shirt multiple times,
Yeah.
just know I did this on the same day as the other ones. So, but I think they appreciate the honesty, and they know that that's the way I can that's the way I can continue serving you. I can't do a video every day and edit and schedule and you know what I mean. I can't. So every Sunday I know I'm doing a batch. I'm doing at least 5 or 10 for sure, and I'll schedule them out. And then next Sunday I do my live stream, and then I'm doing 5 or 10 after that.
Selfishly, this is another reason I wanted to talk to you because again, I don't know anybody else who's super
Mm-hmm.
active on YouTube, and I'm interested just to hear like how you actually do it. Like all this stuff is just I could ask you another 1,000 questions about like
Yeah, yeah.
what's your
I
process and
figured.
like software you use and all that stuff.
Yeah, I figured it out. I want to do reaction videos and doing. Okay, I used to do my videos where I would just do talking head videos, like the depression video, where I would do. I remember doing videos about like doing YouTube over 40, like where how to how to how to stay how to stay in the game basically. I think it's important to do YouTube over 40 because you have 40 years of experience to teach somebody. So I think
Such a great
those people should be
point.
right.
Yeah.
You
Yep.
should be on YouTube
Experience.
teaching somebody something. Your knowledge is wanted somewhere. There's a pocket for us, right? So I would do these videos and trying to find my way, trying to figure my way out. And so I had the depression. I had a series called Fighting Depression, right? And I did that series because one day I was feeling really, really down and bad. I needed somebody to talk to, and I wouldn't advise this necessarily to anybody, but I said, well, let me go live and talk to the people, right? Which could be dangerous depending on your the people can people can weaponize things, right? You use it for, but at that point I didn't care and I needed to talk to somebody, so I did a video called Fighting Depression, and I did a live and I talked about where I was in that moment, right? And it ended up being a really, really good live because there's some people prayed for me. We talked back and forth. People talked about their depression and stuff like that. So it ended up being a really, really good thing. And I started doing those, but I started to think like I don't want depression to be who I am, right? If I have 7 talking head videos and 4 of them about depression, you start to become the depression dude, right? You're the depression guy, And I also need people to understand that depression don't hold as much space as one person think it would. Now, I don't mean it doesn't affect me in a major way, but I'm also way stronger than the depression. So it may strike, but I'm eventually put it down, right? That's so that's how I look at it. I'm telling you it's real because it is real, but I'm also telling you I'm a fighter, right? And it's not going to win. So I need the people to know that. So I make these videos to try to look for. I'm sorry, when I was making those videos, I was trying to look for the thing that I want to do because I want to create. I want to be on YouTube, but I'm trying to find the thing, right? Without being corny. I don't want to just try stuff, and I'm not going to do anything that morally against what I believe in. I'm not going to. I don't want to do pop culture, silly reality show stuff. I don't want to do none of these things, and I found myself almost in a space where I would talk about some rapper because something he said something. It was just frivolous things, and when I came across, I remember even doing a video where I think I did a video where I talked about my followers. I had subscribers. I had I think 240 some subscribers at that time,
I
right?
remember that. I watched
You
that
remember that?
video.
So
Yeah.
it's called 200 something and counting. 200 something and counting. But I was trying to encourage people to like, look, don't. I use this analogy all the time where people talk about the followers or subscribers and how they look at what's a lot to them, right? And I talk about how like 200 something subscribers where people think that's a low number, right? But I tell people all the time, if you are bothered that you have only 250 subscribers, right? I said imagine 250 people showing up at your house right now, right? Imagine Imagine how would you feel then, right? Now, do it seem like a lot? All right, let's put it in, let's put it in perspective what a lot is, right? Because the internet got us fooled, and that's why a lot of us are dealing with a lot of things we deal with. We feel like we're not doing enough, we're not pretty enough, we don't make enough money, I'm not talented enough. All these things we think because of what the internet shows you and sells you, right? In marketing. But I found that thing. I was searching. I did the one video about this one drummer, the Eloy Casagrande, and that told me, okay, wait a minute, there's something here, right? The good part was it's music too, and I love music. So I just followed it, and it turned out to be something super cool. Now I didn't think that I was going to love the genre. I just thought I was going to do a couple of videos, see metal, talk about the songs in the videos, and it just be business, right? But no, 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 no. It turned into some real, and I find myself here having these conversations with cats like yourself, and it's like, oh, it's a part of my life. I remember the first time I called myself a metalhead in a video that you could see in the comments. They responded in the comments. They were saying, "Hey, he just called himself a metalhead," right? But it was such a it was such a cool thing for us to like. I said it because I was having a problem with dealing with imposter syndrome, which I did a video about, and I felt like I didn't belong and I'm too new to express. I remember it took me a while to be like, hey, can I wear a shirt that I like? You know what I mean? I had those kind of conversations like, can I wear a Judas Priest shirt even though I heard one album or just two albums or whatever? So I talked about that. I talked about imposter syndrome. Then I talked about, man, I said, you guys, and people say, stop saying you guys, you a metalhead too, right? And I finally said it in the video. And when I said it, I was like, oh, that sounds different. It sounds crazy. But then the people noticed also. They was like, "Man, you call yourself metalhead, rock on it, give me the fingers, whatever." And it was a proud moment for all of us, which let me know I'm connecting different to the community. This is not your average. I don't look at this like your average YouTube community. I feel like we're connecting on a human level, and that's special to me. So that's why the money and everything else is always an afterthought, because it's like we're connecting on a deeper level, and there's something bigger and better there that we can build on. You know?
I 100% agree. That was the so when I started again, it was more of like creative outlet. I wanted to get recommendations for new music, and I did, which was amazing. But that was the most unexpected part for me too. Is you and maybe another reason people should start a YouTube channel is
Mhm.
people really do form a community around it in the because you start seeing the same people commenting, and then they're like, hey,
Yeah,
do you have a
yeah.
Discord, or like where else can we connect with you? And oh, and that brings up your point about you went to Grow 'em All. And by the way, I live in the valley, so
Oh, okay.
I got that. So you put that out in a short that you and your friend, is it Rios?
Rios.
Rios,
Yep.
were going, and I didn't see it in time, and I was like, no, I would have totally gone. So the next time you go there, I'll for sure go.
I'll be heading your way soon. There's a place in Glendale. It's not your way specifically, but I'm not.
Yeah.
Instead of going to Long Beach, I go the other way.
Okay.
There's a place in Glendale. I forgot, but it's rock themed also. So
Oh.
I'll let you know when I
Okay.
do that.
Okay. Cool.
Maybe we can meet there.
Oh,
That'd be super
I'll
cool.
be there 100%, and I'm gonna be.
Oh,
I
for sure.
got my new little vlog camera. I'm record
Oh,
all of it.
that'd be super cool. Yeah, for sure,
Yeah,
for
yeah,
sure. We definitely do that
that'd be
for
great.
sure.
But the community part, again, it was just so surprising, and people, and so, oh, speaking of community, what I found is just the generosity of people. So like the openness and people connecting, and they tell you so much about their story. Like I've been doing Pink Floyd lately, and there's these
Hmm.
people who've been listening to Pink Floyd since
Forever,
1960 whatever,
for sure.
and
Hmm.
they tell their stories about how they've been listening to this album, and it still means so much to them, and you're like, I can't believe this is happening. And then they're so generous with not only like the information they provide, but then also they're like, oh, here's $25 like a donation, and they get deal with the super thanks and like the buy me a
Yeah,
coffee stuff. And that was stuff that I never had planned on, never expected, and it's just it's in my opinion it's the best part of doing the whole
yeah,
thing
man.
now. It's so much
You
fun.
you're tapping into something like They tell me the same thing. You're tapping into. They can't. They can't experience it for the first time ever again. So to watch you do it is a gift, right? And the appreciation is like the cherry on top. Like to watch somebody experience this for the first time, and if you like it, wow! Like I remember what it was like when I went back in this time, this day, and for them, it's like thank you. You know what I mean? So sometimes when the donations come through, it's like man, thank you. You took me back somewhere I haven't been in years. I I played songs. I've played songs on my channel, reacted songs on my channel that people haven't heard in years. Wow, I remember where I was when I first heard that. I haven't heard that song in 20 years. You know, and it reminds people of because, like you said, it's so much music, right? You can't listen to everything. It's decades and decades of files, basically, right? And you play this thing. You. Some of these albums are people like life. Like some of these albums got people through heartache. Some of these songs are like songs that remind them of their marriage, their kids, all these things. So when you go through it with an appreciation you have for the music, for them, they're like, man, I'll follow you anywhere. You one of us. You know. So that's a beautiful thing. And it's that like you said, it's that appreciation. And but I think in metal, not I'm sorry, not just metal, but well, I've been experiencing metal. In metal, and metal adjacent. Like you want to talk about metal, rock, classic rock, punk, proto punk, all these things, right? You're dealing with like people who are they're identifying music with person, places, and things in their life, right? And you're reminding them of these things. You're reminding them of these great, beautiful moments in their life. And then, if we could share an appreciation, then that's where the long comment come from. I have people leave long comments and they'll say, "Sorry for the essay." I'm like, "No, no, no, don't stop. Don't- I I need that. I need to hear. I need the history of this, whether it's the song or your experience or what you were going through at the time, because it lets me know just how special the music is. Because I know when I heard it was special, but when I read your comment, I know just how special it was. You know what I mean? Or how you took to it and what it meant to you or you all in these comments. So I love it when they see a certain. I'll do a post to tell them what song is coming or what band is coming next, and people and even people on that post like, oh my god, I couldn't wait for you to get to this, or oh man, I've heard this group since the set. I remember I bought that Sabbath album 1976 when I walked into that store and I picked up the record. It's like we're taking them back to those times. You know, it's a beautiful thing, man. I think we're connecting, and I think it's something special with this, and that feeling you can't get tired of.
So I also have an issue with imposter syndrome, like
Okay.
pretty heavily. Like that's one thing I have talked about on my channel, and
Hmm.
my approach to it, or the way that I deal with it, is I deal with it through like comedy. Like that's my
Okay.
way of talking about it. So
Hmm.
very different from what you do. Like I could never. I mentioned earlier, I could never do what you do. Just like talking straight
Oh,
to the
got it.
camera about that. Like I have to like write a script and think about like how can I say this funny in like a self-deprecation kind of way. The more comments you get about no, like doing a reaction really does give value to people, which you just described in
Yeah.
such a great way. So the community is like the biggest surprise, and I think the
Yeah.
biggest the thing that I like the most about doing it now. It was about finding new music. It still is, but like the community part is just the greatest.
Yeah.
But I've had some weird things happen. So have
Hmm.
you had any strange things, like if people like recognized you on the street or anything like that, like anything that's odd that you didn't expect?
Well, see, well, okay, it's a difference too, right? I haven't had anybody recognize me on the street from Metal Lucky Reacts page,
Hmm.
but you remember I've been a rapper
Ah,
since
yes. Yeah, yeah,
I've
yeah,
been
yeah.
I've been so my first deal was with Snoop Dogg in 2007. So
Right.
if you know hip hop and I walk around here every day. Somebody know me in L.A.
Really?
No,
Yeah.
yeah, for sure. One of the jobs I have, which it's a beauty and a blessing to have. I work at this Silmar detention center for the youth, the boys down in Silmar, and we have a music program for the youth, for the kids who get rewarded. They get to learn music, producing, songwriting, whatever, rapping, singing, whatever you want to do. And I'm there 3 times a week talking to them. So when I go to the jails, basically when I go to jail, I walk through security two or three in security already know who I am. They, oh man, you Luck, because my name is Bad Luck as a rapper. They call me Bad Luck. Oh man, you Bad Luck. I know I recognize you, man. What you doing? What you doing here? So I said, man, we teaching music. But that's everywhere I go in LA. If anywhere I'm going in LA, somebody recognize me from somewhere. But that's through hip hop. So if it happened in metal or Lucky Reacts, I would be. I think I'm so not used to that. I think it'll be a much bigger smile. Like, oh, you know my channel? Like, oh wow, you watch my channel? It wouldn't be a shock as far as people know me, only because I've been dealing with that for a long time in LA.
Oh,
Mm-hmm.
yeah. See, that's a great point because nobody knows who I am. I've never been famous or
Mm-hmm.
whatever. And so I started doing this channel, and then I said, so that some of the bands that I do reactions to, I'll go to their concert and I'll tell everybody, like, hey, I'm going to be at this concert. And here in LA, there's always somebody
For sure, yeah,
and so I've
yeah.
been recognized at concerts, and that's just the like that is the strangest thing. Like me having no experience with that, to like
Yeah,
hear someone yell your name in this like crowd of people, and you're like, who are you, and why are you coming at me?
right.
It's a very unsettling experience when
I
it
think it's so
happens.
cool, though. I think it's so cool, man. It's you see. This is the thing. The world is so big, and YouTube is so huge, but you forget how small this world could be when you're in these little pockets, right? Because it's so many people doing reaction videos. So you think that's a big space, but and when we end up finding ourselves in front of each other in a sense. YouTube had a real way of putting us all in front of each other, and so you could be out somewhere. I hope it happens. I'm not gonna lie. I do hope when I go to a concert or I hope somebody do recognize me
Oh, it's
because
gonna happen. Yeah.
but because I love the community. I want to meet them. I want to meet them. I want to take pictures. I want to say, hey, I want to post on my page. Hey, I met this person. Hey, good to see you. Good to meet you. And because of what I'm doing, I love doing this. Like the YouTube reaction video space, the community we've built up. I love it here. I love it here. I do. And so it makes me so proud for anybody to want to do anything, to want to see me, meet me somewhere, to want to meet up. And side note, you and I definitely got to go to a metal show or something. Something.
Oh, I'm yeah.
I didn't know we
I'm
were
in.
this close. Now
Yeah.
we're connected, and I'm gonna make sure you got my number by the end of this also. But
Oh, fantastic. Okay.
I definitely want to go to a metal show or something. Like I said, my first one is going to be in the Iron Maiden, but that's a huge thing, right? I know there's some local stuff that's real intimate, probably super dope. Anyway, we'll get that done too. But I can't wait for that to happen. Is basically what I'm saying. I can't wait to be somewhere and somebody reacts to my channel or Lucky reacts. I'm like, hey, like what? I think that'd be so awesome, and I love this community. I love this thing that we built, and I just can't wait for it to get bigger and grow more. Have you started Discord?
Yeah, I have a Discord. Yeah.
Oh, I got to join your Discord too. I'm
Oh,
gonna send you an invite.
do you
Also,
have one? You have one too?
I have one now. Yeah, it's new.
Oh,
Yeah,
dang. Okay.
it's
Cool.
so new. A lot of people don't even know.
Yeah. All right. All right. That's another. Oh, we should talk about that. Like, because
For sure.
I had never used Discord,
Hmm.
and this is where one night I think I was doing a live, and this was like right when I started the channel. I was doing all K-pop because just like you, I was like, oh my god, I didn't think I would like this, and I actually really like this.
Hmm.
And the K-pop community on this live just said, you got to start a Discord. You got to start a
Oh
Discord.
wow.
And I was like, don't you guys all talk? Like you're all, like, isn't there like already a Facebook group or like somebody else has a Discord? Like why do I? And they're like, no, just do it. Just do it. I'm like, fine.
Yeah.
So I started Discord. Like, here you go. There's 500 people in there now. And I'm like,
Wow.
how did this happen?
Wow.
so,
Wow.
but if you don't already, you're
Hmm.
definitely going to need mods, like moderators, if you don't have
Yeah.
any.
Yeah. I
Okay.
have I have well I only have like it's literally brand new, so I have maybe 40, 50 people in there. It's really new. Um, I- and I'm gonna have to appoint mods for sure, obviously, because I don't know what I'm doing. I can say I'm new, right, right, right.
Yeah.
I have a friend, the plague who I met through YouTube. Plague and my man Scott, they helped me start it, helped me build it and start it, helped me with
Nice.
the channels and helped me do the topics and stuff. So, but and Plague may have been the only one that had some kind of experience. Me and Scott, they had no clue. But Scott started it. Plague helped me build it out, and we just kind of okay, we're here. And so there's people in there, and I go back and forth. We talk back and forth, but I don't really know what I'm doing. So I do know how to I know how to add roles to people, but I don't know when I'm supposed to do that and who I'm supposed to add roles to. So I'm at the beginning process of that, but which is exciting to learn anyway.
It is. Yeah, it's super fun. It's That's another thing about community. Like the Discord has been great. I feel like I got extraordinarily lucky because people volunteered to be mods. And these are people I had never met. I'd never
Right,
talked to them before, and I just said, "Sure, you can be a mod. Why not?"
right.
Like, and
That's
that
the
was like
rule.
the in hindsight, that was like the stupidest, most risky thing
right,
because you don't know, right?
right.
But they turned out to be incredible people
hmm
who care so much about what happens in there and guiding it and making sure everybody's like treats
Yep.
each other with respect and there's no blah 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 because you can I imagined the worst. I thought
hmm
it was going to be the worst corners of the internet are going to show up and I'm going to have my name associated with all this garbage in there and I'm
right,
like I
right.
can't have that. So so I got very lucky that the mods are great. But we do but so this is again like the community is just building itself in there because one of the mods suggested, well, we should have this is all about music. People joined because of music. That's the
yeah.
foundation. And they started to do a talent show. So like every
Oh
4 or 5 months we have a talent show and people typically and a lot of it is like singing, but people will write poetry, people will draw stuff, and we all get together and so people can like watch it together and it's like and people through the Discord, this is the other thing, like
wow.
people through the Discord find each other, they meet, they go off and they like DM and stuff, so it's not all happening in the
hmm
Discord, but like they'll put pictures then in the Discord of like these people who didn't know each other are from like some are from Canada, some are from wherever in the US.
hmm
They all went to the same concert, they all met up, they all had dinner. They're all friends
Wow.
in real life now. And
Wow.
they none of that would have happened unless that Discord that I was just like,
That's
here
what
you
it's
go,
about.
why not? You
That's
know?
what it's about, man.
Dude, it's crazy the
Yeah.
stuff that's happened.
Yeah.
And
That's
so
what.
I'm excited for that for your Discord because that's for sure gonna happen.
Thank you.
Yeah.
I like the fact that it's growing on its own. It's basically running itself with the mods and everything. It's pretty much running itself. You know, once you get so a good set of mods, you're being attentive. So that's the plan is for me in a sense. I want to do the same thing. I want to be able to bring people in. I want to be able to point some. I have some mods appointed already, but the mods I appointed, none of us knew what we were doing. We just like
Oh.
I just
Yeah.
you know none of us knew.
Okay.
So, but I am looking for the people who do want to be mods and because they actually know what's up, know what to do. They know how to if it's something somebody's being a pain, they can remove them or some So I'm looking forward to that. But I think that's a great part of your community also. Discord, building that big community, and then start doing things. I want to do more stuff for them. I want to give away free stuff or like have contests or like give away stuff on my channel. I want to do things like that. So I know that it starts with the community, me building the community. So I do appreciate it when donations come through or somebody signs up. More people joining my membership. So that's been cool. That's been amazing actually. And yeah, man, I'm really having a good time with this. I'm really having a ball with this. Not like it's like I said, the metal part is the great part. You get to learn more songs, learn about the group, learn about the history, but also learn about the people that are part of my channel, and that's been amazing as well.
Right. I yeah, I agree. It's been well, so one part I'll say like that's been great is not only this community started in the Discord and this like talent show and stuff, but I found that there's some extremely talented and creative people who joined that, and they're now starting to kind of like maybe they were not ready to share their either their poetry or their
Yeah.
voice publicly let yet.
hmm
Like I'm encouraging them to start a YouTube channel, obviously, but they like having kind of a safer space to show like these are people I trust now, and I can do this through Discord. I can share a song I wrote, or I can share a piece of poetry, or a
That's
drawing I
cool.
made, and so that stuff has happened, and it's just like I can't even I don't know how to describe that or like the
That's priceless, man.
yeah.
You're doing it right. Your community, and here's the thing, which is the beautiful part. Your community is a reflection of you. Your amazing community, amazing head. You gotta be, it's a major man at the front. Your community, if look, I've had friends who been doing YouTube and got podcasts, and they're all like into like the pop culture drama stuff and podcast wars and dealing with each other. Their comment section, their community, reckless. A bunch of cursing, a bunch of people disrespecting the guests because that's the environment they built. The environment I built does not act like that. That's not how I act. Your community is a reflection of you, right? If your community is going crazy, disrespecting people, disrespecting women and men or any other group, social group, whatever, and rowdy and all these things, that they got it from somewhere. People don't just come in and be on that. And if they are, usually the other people who are representatives of you, they'll get them out of there for sure. So when I say if your community is amazing, they're building stuff like that, being amazing, want to be mods and all these things, and want to create all these things. That's because you are who you are. We have to. Here's the thing. I know because I'm very humble, and I'm humbled by even being here. But also, I have to also acknowledge when I did a good thing,
Yeah.
when I'm trying to
Yeah.
do a good thing, and I
Yeah.
want you to recognize when you've done a good thing, right? Because I watched you when I said that, you were like, I don't know, like kind of like I don't know,
That's the
but
imposter syndrome. The
yeah,
imposter
right, I
syndrome
get
is
it, I
just
get
like
it.
stop
But
talking. I change the
but but
subject.
but it is that your community is representative of you. They want to be mods to protect you and protect what this is. Like you said, I don't my name is on it. I don't need somebody coming in there. But the people who are mods are asking to be basically security guards. That's basically what it is. I want to make sure those kind of people don't show up here. If you build a community who are meeting up and meeting people and being friends, that's because you have built. I'm big on building safe spaces. You have built a safe space for people to come in. They can meet up and feel like friends. They can go to concerts, go out to eat, take pictures, come back, talent shows. People who didn't feel comfortable in the first month or two now feel comfortable to sing. These are all testaments to who you are.
Man.
Understand that. You don't got to tell yourself. Let me tell you. like that means you've been doing an
Thank you.
amazing job, and your community is a representative of that. I feel very, very good about my community because it's how I talk to them. It's how I respect. I talk. I'll tell people I'm a big softy. I'm gonna tell you, I'm a huge softy. I cry at almost everything. I feel things. I'm very vulnerable and transparent with who I am. I'm an open book. So my community is the same kind of way, right? These are not aggressive, violent, nasty talking people. That's not who they are, you know. So be proud of that. That's an amazing thing. And just imagine when it gets bigger and bigger and bigger. You know, it's just gonna be a huge, great community, and that's when you'll start doing like the big stuff. Like we're gonna do a meetup, and then you're like, wow, 100 people showed up. Wow, like you know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
what happened? You know,
Yeah.
and so I just look at it like, man, keep going, keep being you in this space. That is the safe space that people want to be in, right? So people want to be in a part. You got 20,000 subscribers. Like these are people that want to be in a space where they feel like they get value here, right? With the words you talk about, how you represent yourself, and what you think about these things, right? Friendship here, people are meeting each other. They're going out. They're talking back and forth, you know. So and they're being entertained because it's hard to sit and watch somebody else watch music. It's
No, I
hard.
know. I know.
You know what I mean? So
Yeah.
that means you're being the way you're doing it is the way they're being entertained in a way where they like the way you do it. They like the way you listen to music or you break down this thing or you do interviews. But however it happens, they like the way you're doing it. So yeah, man, be proud of that, man. That's awesome.
Thank you. Thank you for that. I appreciate that. Taking it back all the way to the beginning of this conversation is just like perfect circle. That's why I wanted to have you on here because that's the vibe I get from you. That's why I wanted to
Thank you.
talk to you. That's why I didn't email anybody else. Because A, you're a good person. B, I think there's definitely some overlap. Like I've done some sleep token stuff and there's going to be some Tool
Mhm.
fans or whatever. And if they don't know about you, they should. That's how I
Thank you.
look at it. Yeah.
Thank you, man. I appreciate that. I think it helps. It helps because it shows camaraderie. You know, they need to know that this wasn't this wasn't the business decision
Oh
because
gosh, no.
you and I are fairly new. Who are we? Right? We're fairly new. So it's not a business decision. This is a he saw one of my videos and there was some kind of inherent value. He felt like we can have a great discussion, talk about some things. We relate it in a way, right? You said some overlap. We relate in a way, and I think this he thought this discussion would be great for the community, great for the public,
I think so. Yeah.
and for my community, I think it's an amazing thing because they cheer me on anything I do, any kind of advancement, growth, something they cheer me on.
They love
So
it. Yeah.
yeah, they
Yeah.
love it, man. So I'm when you said, hey man, let's do an interview, I'm like, let's do an interview. Cool. When you open schedule, you
Yeah.
know. So I'm excited to even be here, and this is dope. It really
What?
is.
So okay? How are you going to celebrate? Are you thinking about celebrating 20,000? It's a big number.
I had that conversation yesterday, man. I have no
Yeah.
idea.
Oh yeah.
I I so when I hit 10,000, I put a little post up, 10,000. Thank you all. I spoke to the community about, man. Thank you guys. Could have done it without you guys. And I thought about that 20,000, and I just don't know what to do. I almost feel like I haven't been here long enough to do what do they do when that happens? What is the thing? I don't
I
even
don't know.
know.
I don't know either.
You know what I mean? I do it. I'm gonna make a video saying thank you. I'm gonna thank the community for sure. I just, as far as like doing something, I don't know. I don't even know. I gotta figure that out.
Yeah, at least do a video, right?
For sure. I'm doing a
Yeah,
video
that's
for
right.
sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm definitely gonna do a video for sure. Because that's absolutely amazing. And so there was a jump. There's a jump from 1,000 to, I would say, 14,000. And when I put the video from the last video about the last talking head video I did, that was the jump from 14,000 to 20.
Yeah, the one that's
The
been viewed like
Yeah,
180,000 times
yeah,
right now
that one.
already. That
So
you
that,
put
that
up
was
like,
that was
was that like 10 days ago you put that one up? And
like
it's just
7 days ago. Yeah,
exploded.
it
Yeah.
went crazy, and it was, man. Let me tell you about that too. So I'm not sure if I told it exactly in the video, but I was on Instagram, and I told part of it. I was on Instagram. I was looking at this Instagram page, and it had all these great moments of metal, right? About people performing and behind the scenes footage of people in studios and all these things. And I'm looking at all the stuff, and I'm amazed at like there's like famous drummers and guitarists that I don't know yet, right? But I know they're famous because they're on this page, right? And all these names, and this person played with this person, and that one time Ozzy came out in this band set, and such and such played guitar on this with this band, all these things. And I'm looking at all these music, I'm scrolling, I'm like, wow, that was crazy. Wow, I wish I could have been there. And these old flyers where you get like four legendary bands, and the ticket price is like $10.50, like
Yeah.
$15, right, for the ticket price. You're like, what? So I'm looking at all these things, and then so I'm looking at another Ozzy post showed up, and I'm like, man, oh, it was a Ozzy last performance. He was in a chair, in his last performance before he passed on. I seen that performance, and I'm sitting there like, man, that's so sad, man. And then I just scrolled down. It was like I think it was a Pantera post, and I'm like, damn. Because I only learned about Pantera through the comments. I did a Pantera reaction, and I learned about Dimebag and his brother through the comments. And I scrolled again, and it's one of the guys from who was it? I forgot who it was, but somebody else had passed away. It's like, and I'm thinking to myself like, wait a minute, man, all these people gone. Like, I'm like, damn. I'm like, did I get here too late? I'm like, did I get here? I know it sounds like a crazy question. What is too late when it's music and it lives on forever and all these things, but not in a way that I felt like. In a way I was like, yeah, but not how I received it. That's not. I'm not the average music listener. What I meant by that was, I don't listen to this music just because I like music. It's like I want to be in this music. I like metal a little different than you like what you like, right? It felt like, no, that it's metal is mine now. Like I got my hands on it, now it's mine now, and I want my part like everybody had their part. I want my piece of it like everybody else had their piece, and I want to be able to know the history and learn the bands and all these things. And I'm like, wait, none of these guys here no more. And I don't mean none literally. I just mean like like if you were in the beginning, a lot of them guys are not here no more for whatever reason, old age and health and stuff like that, you know. And I'm just like, man, I got so emotional. I got so emotional. I just started crying, and I'm like, wow. And I'm like, and I'm sitting there thinking, I'm like, man, I'll never see, I'll never ever see Ozzy perform. I'll never see Dio. I'll never see these people, and I'll never see. I just kept naming people, and I'm like, never see all these things. And I understand that none of us will never see these people again, right? And there's tons of people who haven't met Dio, or even people who've been in metal their whole life never met Ozzy or Dio. I understand that, but I just didn't look at it. I didn't look at it the same way. I looked at it like, yeah, but I won't though. Like I know you had didn't, but I won't. I want to meet. I want to meet Dio. I would love to be like, hey man, I just found your music in 2026. You're amazing. Or just, I didn't know. I didn't know. When I heard Bruce Dickinson, I was blown away by his voice. And then I heard Rob Halford, and I'm like, wait a minute, what is that? And then I heard Dio, and I'm like, what the fuck is this? Who who sounds like this, right? And and then I heard him on Rainbow, and then I heard him on Heaven and Hell, which floored me. And I'm like, nah, like what? No more? I don't. I'll never experience that. I'll never like see him live. I'll never see, and that really, really like messed me up, you know. And I thought about it like this needs to be told because I know somebody else feels like this. I know somebody else feels like they'll they'll never experience that. But the difference is they once did have an experience with these people. They had an experience with these people at one time. You know what I mean? And I'll be thinking like, it's fair. I understand that it's fair, but I'll still be thinking like, yeah, but it's me. I just got it, right? You had it. You had 30 years of that. I just got it. I just got my hands on it, and you know, if you tell me I just love this thing. I just learned this thing, and you're like, but give it back. He's gone. You know. So it was kind of like a selfish thing, but also like that also confirmed with me how I felt about the music. It was an inner expression that came out about how I also feel about this music. You know, because I can say it all day long, man. I love metal. This is a journey. I'm trying to tell you guys this is a journey, but I'm really on this journey. I can say that all day. You don't have to believe me. But when I sat there and cried when tears came out about this thing I'm looking through, I'm like, yeah, that's this is me. If you turn me inside out, you'll see. This is what it looks like. You know, so yeah, man. I had to do a video about that, and that's another testament to the video is that it's doing what it's doing. Not that I knew that, obviously, but because I'm not the only one who feel like that. I'm not the only one who feel like that, you know. And yeah, so I think it's a beautiful thing. But that's why this genre is such a beautiful. I talk about it like it's new, but it's new to me, you know. So and I'm new to it. And I'm new to all these new feelings of it, and I'm going to keep expressing it, keep learning about it, and keep stay on this journey. That's why I love when people are saying, man, I'm on a journey with you. I'm riding with you because I'm literally on it in real time. I'm really on this journey of learning in real time about all these things. So for me, it's just exciting, and I'm just excited to see the next thing and hear the next thing. Yeah.
Hmm. I well, you said it to me earlier about like giving yourself a pat on the back when you do a good thing. So I think what I understand what you mean about it. It maybe it felt selfish at the time to say that,
Yeah.
but you're also the one who put words to it and put it out for people to see and
Mm.
react to it. Like not everybody. I mean, like for example, like my wife is like, don't ever put me on camera. Like I do not want to be on
Right.
camera.
Right.
Right. So it takes
Right.
a certain type of person to like
Yeah.
say that and then like here, literally anyone in the world with an internet connection can see this.
I like to express myself in that way because if I hold I mean, I have it, but it doesn't do what it's supposed to do in here. When I feel like if there's some connecting to be done, I'm always trying to connect. I'm always trying to connect with humans and show the likeliness in all of us and the that sameness that we have, that oneness that we have, and so I need to express. I need to express. Like, for example, with my wife, I won't talk about. I wouldn't put her on camera. She don't want no camera for her either, and also wouldn't talk about private matters with the wife also. Um, uh, but I mean, clear of that, I'll talk about almost everything else. You know what I mean? I'm not. Like I said, you can't weaponize it against me. It's already out. But also, somebody feels like me, and if it helps, I did a good thing.
Right. I think that's such a key point, because I uh, related to imposter syndrome and so forth is just trying to remember that little bit. Like, if there's one person who watches it and says, I feel the same way, then it's worth it.
Like it's been fun. It's been a journey. It's been uh, like right now I have I got two or three. I got two or three ready, and I got two more to upload. I'm excited about uh, the upcoming reactions. I'm always excited because it's the type of new, it's the type of metal I'm doing. Like some areas are new. Like a new genre I'm tackling, which I didn't know until I heard it. It kind of you'll know when you see the reactions for it, the ones coming up, you'll know which one I'm talking about because I didn't even know what to say on the reaction. But I get excited because it's none of it is what I expect. Hip hop, I understand. No matter whatever style you try to go and do, whatever, I get hip hop. I get it. Different styles, regional, whatever. I understand that when I first hear it. Metal, it could be a new genre I never heard of, and I'm like, I don't know what that sound is, and I don't know what they're talking about. Or conceptually, it can be crazy. The sound can be super fast and doing something crazy, and so for me, it's all new, you know. So I get excited from these reactions. I can't wait to hear what people think about. Excuse me. I can't wait for people to hear what people think about some of these reactions that I do. So I'm always excited about the songs coming up, and also I'm always excited to see what they think about the band I'm doing, because like I said, the easy things is doing the Megadeths and doing the, like I said, Metallica and stuff like that. That's the easy stuff. But when you are doing the whoever Sodoms, or you doing the Exodus, or you doing groups like that where you got some German thrash metal band that put out 2 albums in the '80s. You're like, wait, how'd you even get there? Right? Like, who told you about that? Right? I think and then you're always when you do albums like that, you're always tapping into like you get the comment like, yo, man, I'm a 65-year-old. I remember I bought that album in 19. I can't believe you did that record. And I'm like, that's the beauty right there. That is the beauty. For that guy, where's he get it from? Where else did he get it from? You know what I mean? That feeling of he gets to I'm almost reenacting what he felt like in a sense from some of these records. And here's the beauty in it. It ain't about just liking and disliking, right? As long as I have an understanding in music, I don't trash nothing, right? What I mean by that is I don't hear a record and be like, oh, that was terrible. I'll never in my life. I don't do that because we're all musicians, right? Something may not be for me. That don't mean it's trash or terrible. That just means that's not my vibe. That's not my vibe. Right? I don't trash. So if you don't trash, that we all can respect it. Everybody can respect it. The comments I get from some records, I remember when I first did Cannibal Corpse, Hammer Smash Face. Me and my man Rios did it together, and we were caught way off guard with that record, right? And we listening to it, we like, man, like this ain't really for us. Like we said, you could tell. He was like, hey, man, it's not that's not our thing. But as it was explained to us, we were listening to the record wrong, which I love that people teach me the way, right? It wasn't that I didn't like it, I didn't understand it. So I thought I didn't like it. What happened when it was explained to me that they are horror junkies, they love horror, so they're making records kind of like horror films. And if you understand that part, then I can listen differently. I'm like, oh, I'm okay. I'm looking at this like, who are they? They should be in jail. Who these guys? Like, that's what I'm thinking about. Like, these dudes are sick, right? Which is the reaction they want. But also, if I'm looking like a horror junkie, like, oh, this is scary movie stuff. If I look at it and approach it like I'm watching a scary movie, I can appreciate that. Then I start to listen. Now I can hear the skill in it. Now I can hear now I can hear the guitars. Now I can hear the drums, the way the blast beat is going under the drums, and now I can hear it in a different kind of way. Instead of hearing it with just like, that's gruesome. Who would make this? Who would do that? So I'm like, I had to learn about it. So it's just I'm learning how to listen to in music. You know what I mean? And being open minded. You wouldn't listen to a hip hop record like you would listen to samba, anything in samba, or anything. You wouldn't listen to like whatever kind of like a mariachi kind of sound the way you would listen to a gospel record. It's two different ears you put on to even compute what's going on both things of music, right? So I learned that. I'm learning that in metal the same, where it's like different ears. So I don't trash anything. The most I'll do is maybe I understand, or maybe something not for me. But to trash it, that's just disrespectful. I haven't been here long enough to trash anything.
Same. I don't ever. I've actually I've said that a lot because there's a lot of when I do albums. There's obviously
Mm-hmm.
some songs that I really love. There's some songs that I don't, and I would phrase it exactly like you do. I like that one's just not for me. I'm not a
Yes, it's not. Yeah,
I'm not a critic. I'm just saying my opinion on do I like this
for
or is it
sure.
not for me? Yeah.
That great point. That was it in short. I'm not a critic. I'm not here to. I'm not here to judge a record because I have some moral authority over the sound. I just got here, right? Like I'm in a door and somebody actually offered me a seat, right? That's who I am. I'm just got the door. Somebody offered me a seat. Let me sit down here and shut up. I'm not here to make demands. I'm very new here, so that's where I am in this space. So I'm not the dude to say, "Oh, I heard that band. that's not they were trash. It's not for me." What? Who am I to? I don't, and like I said, I'll never say that off of hearing one song. That's another problem. To hear one song and speak to that about somebody. No, because some of my greatest rappers or rap groups of all time, they all got a trash song. If I judged them by that song, I would never like them. So I understand that. Yeah, but like you said, not being a critic. That's what's important.
Yeah, and exactly like you said, I make it very clear. Just telling people what I like, what I don't like. That's it. I mean,
Right.
so I've had albums that I've done. There's been three of them that I started to do. I started recording it, and I got through 4 or 5 songs, and I didn't like any
Mm-hmm.
of them, and so I just
Mm.
stopped, and I never continued because I don't. To your point, I don't want to upload a video of like a whole album where I'm just kind of like
Yeah, I'm like, yeah,
uh,
right,
you know,
right.
like that's not gonna be
Yeah,
fun for anybody, and I don't want it to be taken as exactly like I'm trying to. I know it'll be taken the wrong way and whatever, and
for
so
sure, for sure.
I don't even talk about it. I'm just like, yeah, there's 3 albums I didn't like, and
I never
I'm
thought
not gonna
about
upload
that.
those. Yeah,
That's funny. I never thought about that. When you're doing a whole album, what happens when you don't like the whole album? It's like I wouldn't want to do a whole album reaction and I didn't like no song.
right, right,
Yeah, I would
it's
do the same
happened
thing. I wouldn't put that out. I wouldn't. Now, if I didn't like one or two songs, I can. That's fair. I
exactly.
would say,
That's
hey, this
bound to
song's not for
happen.
me.
Yep,
Yeah, that's bound to happen. But a
yep,
whole album, no, I just wouldn't do. I wouldn't do that. And you being genuine, that's the thing. You don't have to say a bunch of I don't like stuff to come off as genuine. All you gotta do is be genuine. The people will pick up on it on you being genuine. So if I say I like everything, if I say people used to say that about food shows, right? They say Guy Fieri or whoever they never say no, they don't like nothing. Well, why would you post something that you don't like? I need to show you the sale. For me, the sale is to show you what I do like. So I want you to go to these places. I'm not going to waste production stuff on stuff I didn't like. What's the point of showing you that? You're not going to go there. What's the point of that? So yeah, yeah. I never thought about that when you're doing the whole album. If you don't like that, but that's why I wouldn't do now how I like to do like not obscure, but like groups that aren't like considered like top metal groups of all time. I um I I wouldn't do whole albums of those groups, the smaller groups that may be respected, and may be like huge in the genre, but I wouldn't do smaller ones because of that reason. So if I do whole album reviews, it's going to most likely be of some of the ones, of some of the guys, right? That's why I leave space for me to not hear them. I still haven't heard Masters of Puppets Metallica. I still haven't heard Ride the Lightning Metallica. I still haven't heard Lateralis, the whole album, right?
oh man,
So there's still records. I still records and albums that
please
right,
do
right,
that.
right,
Please do
for
that.
sure, for sure. I definitely gonna do it,
Uh,
and that's why I try not to listen to too much because I don't want to listen to Loud and Loud. Listen, I heard 6 of the songs. I don't know. I'm not sure how many albums songs are on the album, but I don't want to listen to majority of it and then try to do an album review because I don't want to ever come off as fake to the people that they know I've heard these songs already. So now you find yourself acting like you haven't heard them on
Yeah,
on the
that no,
reaction
they're
stuff.
gonna
Yeah,
figure it out, or they're gonna, yeah.
for sure, for
I
sure.
so that's exactly what I've done too, because I've been doing Pink Floyd, and I had as a kid I had heard some of those songs, like they were like
Hmm.
some of them are familiar, but I never
For
sat and
sure.
listened to them, and so I'm like, look, oh, as soon as the song started playing, I'm like, oh yeah, okay, I remember the chorus of this from when I was 12 years old or whatever,
For sure.
and so I always make that clear when I'm doing
Same.
an album,
Same.
you know.
Some songs are just bigger than life, right? It's like I finally heard Dark Side of the Moon and the song Money. I'm like, of course I heard Money on tons of movies. Tons of movies, tons of things. So I can't even lie and say I haven't heard that record. That's ridiculous, right? So, I'll mention it like you. Oh, I have heard this record. This was on, I know, movies and stuff, but for the most part, I haven't heard the whole album in its entirety. So
Yeah,
I mean, I have now, but you know,
and even if it is that song, um, like I had heard the song, but I never listened to it. Like I wasn't playing it and just like, okay, let me try to figure it out what's going on in here.
for
It
sure.
was like it was just on at a neighbor's house or something, and
Yeah,
whatever. It was just, yeah, like you said.
but for me, the only reason why I say it is because I market it as my first time hearing. That's the only reason why I say that. If I market it that way, I got to say, hey, I did hear this song. I don't want y'all to think I did hear that
First time
song.
hearing the
You
album,
know,
yeah, you could do,
yeah, for
which would
sure.
work.
So yeah, for
I think we got a lot here. It's been 2.5 hours.
yeah, for
This
sure.
is the so here. Can I just tell you for a second? Like, whenever I do a live, I have like one thing planned that I want to talk about,
Mhm.
and I think, oh, this is going to last about 20 minutes, and then I find it's like it's like an hour and a half later. I'm like, how did this happen? And so and so I was like worried about like, do you even have an hour? I think I put an hour on the invite,
Mhm.
and I'm like, I can't believe it's been 2.5 hours.
Yeah,
So
it's a lot to talk about. We have, like you said, we have a lot of parallels.
thank you for being here. I'm so glad we talked. Yeah. Anything like, is there anything you want to say to like people on my channel will see this? Is there anything you
Man,
want the people to know
just
about you?
um, man, I always want to be. No, you know what? It's not about me, right? And I'm not trying to come off as forget what I'm about to say. I'll say this: it's not about me. I just want people to show love, spread love. That's most important. That's most important. Show love, spread love. If you do that, everything else will take care of itself. Show love, spread love. That's all I ask.
It's just the perfect ending. I think I was actually getting a little misty there. It's why I don't know, man. I could feel that from when I started watching your videos, and I'm so glad we talked. This has been awesome.
Awesome.